What's going on, everyone? This is episode number 25 of Let's Draw on Something live on YouTube. This is Craig Jsmoove II, born and raised in the 773, relocated to the 901. Put up with a lot of shit in the 256, and now I'm back. And now I have returned somewhat to, well, I definitely have returned to the 662, so y'all know how I do. We got a little topic filled show tonight. Joining me, courtesy of from the Jimmy Jsmoove Network, and I'm also co-host on his podcast as well. My guy, Jimmy, having time he's wrong, but he's always make right. Born and raised in the 901, and now he's getting ready to do some big things in 832, and y'all definitely don't know how he do. What's going on, Jimmy McWright?
Hey, what's popping and what's dropping, man? I'm just in chill mode right now, man. I'm, watching my Astros get their ass kicked right now, but hey, everything is still good, man, up in the 832, and y'all already know how both of us do. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. We're gonna have a good little show, man. And I'm gonna have my little rant toward the end of the show. So I gotta call some shit out. So I'm not gonna say it right now, but I'm gonna say it toward the end, the very end, because I like to get to the good stuff, or I should say we like to get to the good stuff early, and we get to the shit that we need to call out later on in the show. So without further ado, man, what we gonna start the show off with, brother?
Most definitely. But first of all, before we start the show off, Let's Draw on Something has been brought to you in part by Trey Styles Custom and Designs. There's nothing that he cannot customize. Hit him up for your NBA, NHL, MLB, FC or MLS or WNBA needs, family reunion shirts or whatever shirt or custom shirts that you may need. Aprons, hats, name it, he can do it. Hit him up at 901-364-3698. That's Trey Styles Custom Designs. There's nothing he cannot customize. And without further ado, we're gonna get on to it, man. Well, first and foremost, like start a program with some good news. This past Thursday, I put up a Let's Draw on Something extra. Shout out to my friend, to my girl, Miss April Booker, Miss April B, if you will. She had, I think I put on there. I said, hey, please help a friend out in the Memphis area. To make, to get to the nitty gritty. Her niece was missing for the past couple of nights. So the good news is safe to say, after I put that out, I'm not saying I'm going to take credit for it. Her niece was found. She was over at her dad's house. But all I got to say is that doesn't escape her aunt. That's still doesn't smooth things out. With what she put not only April through, but with her mom, her dad, and everybody else, her family, with most of her family, stuff what she was doing. So if anybody wants to know a little bit further, man, just go on my page and pull up the Let's Draw on Something extra. So like once again, shout out to my girl April B. I'm glad her niece was found safe and sound. So because I had a lot of things to say about that, because she, people were telling her all on Facebook, you don't need to do this and that to your niece and all this other stuff. She's scared, la la la, all this and that. First and foremost, you don't tell another man or woman what they need to do with a child if it's a family, if it's their own child, if it's a niece and nephew. That's a line you don't cross.
I agree.
You don't do that, because I'm pretty sure if Jimmy Jsmoove had a son or daughter they end up missing, what I look like telling him, oh, Jimmy, you don't need to whoop his or her ass. If Jimmy said he gonna whoop her ass or his ass, he gonna do it. Hell, I'll do the same thing.
Yeah, in certain instances, there's a lack of communication, and she knows she's supposed to have been home at a certain time. You deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Yeah,
I will say this, physically beating your child is not always the best answer. I will say that, because sometimes you can talk to your kid or your niece or nephew or whatnot. But if that's the best course of action, I say take the best course of action. That's my best answer for that in particular. But it's a good thing that she came home safe and sound. Nothing happened to her. And again, I stress this to every black parent. uncle, whatever. Because, like I say, we have to do what our brother, you know what I'm saying, George Frazier told us. Even though you don't have kids of your own, or even though somebody else's kid may not be your kid, you have to raise them just like they're your own. You know what I'm saying? As a community, we need to get back to raising our kids as our own. And that goes for the uncle, nieces, and nephews. We have to help in the raising process. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you see your niece or nephew getting disrespectful with they parent, and you standing up there letting that shit happen, and you don't G-check that shit, then you just as responsible as that parent for letting that kid go out his tank. Because one thing about me, ain't none of my nieces and nephews is finna disrespect my brother or my sister in front of me. That's not finna happen. You're not finna do it. I'm just not gonna have that. All four of my nieces and nephews, they finna get it. I'm finna tell you, and you might get something not upside your goddamn head. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a fair warning. You know what I'm saying? But if I have to tell you again about disrespecting your parents, you know what I'm saying, whether it's my brother or my niece or my sister, it's going to be a problem. So help with the process. This goes for all uncles. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are significantly older than it, because there's some people that uncles is younger than them. You know, we do have shit like that don't count. But we're talking about the ones that's between five years and up. You know what I'm saying? Because people do some fucking out here. But let these kids know. Raise them kids like they're your own, man. So it is what it is. You got a friend that's hanging out with your son. Raise them. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to necessarily put hands on them, but raise them. That's what I'm saying. Just raise them. So it is what it is, brother.
Most definitely. And then I also said this here. I'm glad that her niece is home safe and sound, but that does not. But she still got to take that L.
Yeah.
She gonna have to get ready to take that L, man. So, but make a long story short, me and April, we conversed about some things, and just something I'm not going to reveal it here, lie, but she and I we talked amongst ourselves about it, and she agreed with me on some things. Let's put it like that. So I'm glad she's safe and sound, and whatnot. But man, let's get to the crux of the matter. Besides the fact that your Yankees, well, my Yankees is whooping your Astros ass. Jimmy, don't say I was the one to tell you and our guy Corey Wolf. Shout out to him. I told y'all so, but I told y'all so.
They whooping y'all.
Wait. No. I ain't talking. We ain't talking. We more on. We ain't talking about the baseball. Not yet.
Oh, okay. I'm just about to say we gonna get on. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I did I not tell y'all early this morning that I said put Georgia on upset alert?
Yeah.
So yeah, Georgia got beaten double overtime. Georgia fans, 20-17 to Will Muschamp and the South Carolina Gamecocks. And you have to attribute that. You put it like this. Let's put it like this. South Carolina played a good game. I watched most of the game online. But Jake Fromm, dude, excuse me, y'all. Sorry about that. Jake Fromm, 3 fucking interceptions. And all of them, and really, the 3 interceptions was just some bullshit with the receivers that he has, man. Dudes ain't even trying to catch the ball or nothing. Now, one of them was his fault. Matter of fact, let me take that back. Excuse me. One of them was some bullshit. One of them was on receiver, but the other 2 were on him. Cause he made some bullshit ass throws and then got on the sideline like, oh, everything all hunky dory. No, bro, if you trying to get into the fucking BCS playoff or whatever, ain't nothing hunky dory. Okay, nothing is fucking hunky dory. Now I can see because looking at the remainder of their schedule, they got Florida next. Then I think they got Mississippi State, then Auburn, then they got Texas A&M at home. Finally. So Jimmy, you might want to do some research about when was the last time Georgia and Texas A&M played each other football. They got Texas A&M at home, then turn around they got Georgia Tech, and they got some other games going on too. But you really gotta. I'll give the asterisk to South Carolina because yeah, they play some D. But Jake Fromm was very inconsistent in this game, man. 3 fucking interceptions. No.
And that's what them hoes get for letting the number one quarterback in the nation. You know what I'm saying? Starting this slow dog. Jake Fromm, you knew he wasn't the quarterback of the future. You should have stuck with the guy you had and did your thing. But this dude threw more interceptions than a fucking geometry class. This motherfucker had more interceptions than the Pentagon. And you telling me you and the dude at Ohio State, he balling right now.
Justin Fields said he's still pissed off about that, bro.
Justin Fields ain't never had no game where he got more interceptions than a goddamn military operation. This motherfucker threw more interceptions than the goddamn Furman Military School. That's how many interceptions this motherfucker have. And you telling me Justin Fields wasn't worth being the starting quarterback? Man, get up out of here, Kirby. Not so smart. This is gonna be your name for right now because Kirby, you not so smart right now. You know what I'm saying? I like them as a defensive coordinator.
Now this was something. Now hold on, let me cut you off. Now this was something that I agreed because on Fox, Urban Meyer made something like that because he said Georgia missed out on Georgia basically just gave away a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said and he even said because he was out of I don't know if Urban was still coaching the time, he was dealing with his little health issue or what, or he unless stress got to him. And by the way, Urban Meyer he said some real fucking shit on that on Fox Sports because the Fox Sports crew, you got Matt Leinart, Brady Quinn, Reggie Bush, and Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer said some real shit. He said, yeah, that one little play that Kirby Smart put Justin Fields in just basically just told Justin Fields, we don't need you anymore. He right. Brady Quinn felt that was disrespectful what Kirby Smart did. Looking back at it now. But what Justin Fields is doing now, him, you want to know who the top 2 quarterbacks are right now in the nation in percentage completion?
Yes,
right
sir.
now? Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And Tua.
Yeah. Yeah. Hands
Them
down.
3 right there.
Yep. Hands down. Hands down. So yeah, I mean, they doing a damn thing right now. I mean, ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it, man. And like I say, Justin Fields have the perfect system. Jalen Hurts have the perfect system. Even though I'm gonna get on Jalen Hurts later on because even though he's balling, he shows some glimpse of his old self. And y'all know his nickname. His nickname was. But I'm gonna holler at you. But Jeff Fromm, come on, man. You got Jake this dude, Jake Fromm, whatever the hell that whole name is. This nigga thrown more intercept. This nigga got more interceptions than the goddamn military school.
All right, now here's the stat. Okay. Let me pull up Georgia. Now, South Carolina, they started 2 different quarterbacks.
Which they trash, but
Now, Georgia, damn, I'm trying to see Georgia's stats right here. Now, Georgia's quarterbacks, let's see. I probably got to flip it over. Okay, there we go. Jake Fromm pass for that was 28. Listen to this. Out of 51 attempts, he only made 28 completions. He had 295 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. You want to know where the other touchdown came from? The Swift dude, the running back, Swift. He had 1. He rushed for 113 yards. 1 touchdown. None of the damn wide receivers, even Swift, even caught a pass. They only one of them and one caught another and that was the one to Fromm threw to. Yeah, Fromm showed how much trash he was in this game. He basically made South Carolina's defense look good. So it is no excuse for Jake Fromm to have 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown. Now we'll give him a pass if South Carolina beat Georgia 20-17 and his stat line read this 28-51, which doesn't make any fucking damn sense. He ain't got no bit 51 attempts. You throw the ball 51 times.
Mm-hmm.
You miss 23. You miss it 23 times and go for 28. Okay, okay. All right. But Jimmy J and I would have gave Jake Fromm a pass if the stat line read 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and y'all lost 2017 in double overtime.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 interceptions is not acceptable.
Yeah, you making a
so they basically gonna have to beat Florida next week if they still want to get into BCS playoff, which I doubt.
Correction. They play Kentucky next week, and then they play Florida on the 2nd of November. They play because they pushed the game back. No, it sits on that time of the year where they play the game. I'm sorry, but they play them on the 2nd. They play Kentucky, then they have a bye week, and then they play them on the 2nd. Because the round out Georgia schedule, because Georgia pretty much got it made. Other than this loss, they play Florida, Kentucky, Missouri.
That's a win.
They run into Auburn. Well, I'm about to say they got it made. I'm sorry. Correction. Auburn. They play.
Well, they got Auburn at home.
They got Auburn. They got Auburn in Auburn, actually.
Oh well, that's an ass whooping there. Because you remember the last time Georgia played Auburn, Auburn whooped their ass.
We'll see. I that's my best answer for that. We'll see, because that's a hit or miss series. They got A&M at home, so they should beat them. And Georgia Pest in Atlanta, they're gonna beat the shit out of Georgia.
This fool's at Georgia Pest.
They are pest fucking right now. And the good thing is, I'll say the head coach of Georgia, he admits they suck. So that's the honesty is the best. It's the best route.
Jeff Collins, hey, he's real. Everybody when he was the coach at Temple, all the players even said, he said, man, one thing about Coach Collins, Coach Carl, he was real.
Yeah, I think his honesty is gonna make them better over time. But the thing is, you're coming into a city of Atlanta where you got an influx of talent. Get those guys from the Atlanta area. Atlanta is surrounded by 20 different fucking counties. So just go around that 285 and just start getting guys. You know what I'm saying? Stone Mountain, Stevenson, and Gainesville, and all those other little spots over there. College Park. Go around the city and just get some guys. Decatur High School with that beautiful AstroTurf on that stadium, literally across the street from the apartments that my sister lives in. So it's some beautiful. It's some talent, man. So it's like go get some guys. Just go out there to Atlanta and put your head down and get some dudes out there, man. It's no excuse. It's no excuse to why Georgia Tech can't be good in the next 4 years, man. If Georgia Tech ain't competing, and I'm saying competing because being on the level of Clemson, even Florida State, when they don't have Willie slap me in the face, Taggart, I'm gonna get on his ass in a minute, but it's no excuse to where Georgia can't be on the top of the ACC, or at least competing for the top of the ACC, because Georgia Tech fans don't expect a guy to go win a national title. That I don't see that happening, at least in the next 10 years.
And Jeff Collins even was honest in his interview. He said this whole entire roster, he said, I got damn near 80% of this whole roster playing with players playing out of position.
Exactly. So
He said, and they got no business playing, because he trying to eliminate everything, dog. Because he want to go back to what Bobby Ross ran
Yeah.
the past first, because then everybody got tired of seeing the Paul Johnson run on the offense and all the other shit. I get it, that old school option is like a bunch of trickery and everything. But listen, this is 2019. Got to get with the times on the shit. Now, granted, with the lone exception to that is Navy and Army. They still run it. Air Force, they run, which is second to Chris Peterson, the best multiple offense ever. They can come out in I formation. They'll come out in flex bone, wishbone, pistol, shotgun, strong eye, weak eye, um, tight eye, Maryland eye, which is three running back, and the I form of the three running back, whatever. They run the best smash. Oh, they run the best multiple smash mouth playbook there is I've seen.
Yeah, and please take in consideration one of the reasons why the military schools have to run the option system still is because they have military they have requirements with height, weight, and all that other good stuff. So they have to run those systems to stay in guidelines, stay in compliance with the military standards. Schools like Army, Navy, and all those military schools have to take that in consideration as well. They have weight guidelines, they have height guidelines, they have certain guidelines. Because David Robinson, from my understanding, he was too tall to be in the Navy because he came to Navy. I think he was 6'5", and then he grew all the way to 6'9", and ultimately 7 feet, 7'1", 7 foot. Whoever you're asking to. So that was a situation because he was supposed to be. He was going there as a pilot. He was supposed to go there as a pilot, and from what I understand, he couldn't fly in the naval part of the Air Force because he was too tall.
Right.
And I have height requirements behind it. So yeah, so that's the reason why those guys still run 1925 ass Newt Rockney ass offenses is because of those requirements.
Damn. This man went to throwback and said Newt Rockney. All right. And my other upset that I told you, and shout out to Corey Wolf. What's going on, Corey? Was a no-brainer. Memphis losing to Temple. Now I'm gonna say Memphis deserved to get their ass beat. You do not call on 37 a quarterback sneak with a defense like Temple. And big shout out to Temple's coach and Illinois' own, Northern Illinois, if you will, Rod Carey. Cause I like that offense he running at North that he ran in Northern Illinois, and it's up at Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Film study that. That's your film study challenge. That's your film study challenge here. When you had time, Jimmy. Rod Carey offense. And he'll probably pull up a whole bunch of stuff because even I forgot that dude, that quarterback that he had on there that time. I forgot that quarterback's name. Jordan somebody. Because he was on the Gruden quarterback camp. Because dude was a running back, converted into quarterback. And John Gruden has said, he said, man, looking at y'all offense, he's like, y'all offense is so fucking freaking bizarre, man. And his eyes is big. He said, I don't even know what y'all are running. He said, 1 minute y'all running the I form, and I don't know if it's something you see in the defense. And said the next thing you know, I'm seeing. He said he pulled up like on one play. He's like, what's this here? They lined up in the I form, right? It was in the red zone, lined up in the I form. They did a damn play action, defense blitzing. Their fools didn't even know the wide receiver had the ball. He ran that shit in the hole.
Damn. Yeah.
That's some old Steve Spurrier stuff. So he did. Steve Spurrier did a play on West Virginia in the Sugar Bowl called "Throw the Rock, Hide Your Hand," because it was like, well, you got to see it because it's like all of them. They act like they were fighting and fumbling about the ball and all the other stuff, and then the damn lineman ran the ball, and he took it in for the first down plus some.
Oh, okay.
So
He was the guy that coached at Northern Illinois, and he was the offensive coordinator. Yeah, he was on the Northern Illinois head coach. He was the head coach of all those teams. Oh, okay. So yeah, they got a damn good coach in there. So I would say if I'm him, I would stay at Temple. Unless motherfuckers for the I would stay at Temple and build that program, and then if I want to go to a big school, then
well, anything better than Matt Rule, cause look how long it's taking Matt Rule. Man, they barely won against Texas Tech today. So
yeah,
they're bowl eligible today. That's the second Texas team to do that. But coaches,
uh-huh.
coaches, and aspiring coaches, do not call no damn quarterback play, quarterback keeper, or as Corey will say, quarterback sneak on a 3rd and 7. And if and especially if you know your quarterback whack as hell with his foot speed and carrying abilities, that'll
I
work
agree.
with somebody like a Trevor Lawrence, a Jalen Hurts, um, trying to think of somebody else. Penn State's quarterback, that'll work with somebody like that.
Yeah.
But if your quarterback got speed that's like lead, water, and duck shit, you better on 3rd and 7, you better call for that running back to either run it up the gut or throw a quick or fake it to a quick screen.
Yeah, quit calling these stupid ass plays because I get sick of offensive coordinators and quarterback. I mean, head coaches as well because you got more say so than you think you do with these offensive coordinators. But man, quit calling
But here's the
these.
thing: Memphis still got the #1 defense in the nation against the pass. Shockingly,
Well, one or two things could be attributed to that. One, Memphis has a good offense that can put up points. So when you throw the ball more often than you truly wants to, especially if you're a suck ass passing team, you
no, I
go.
said again. I no. Keep in mind, I said they still have the #1 passing defense.
No, I'm telling you why. I'm basically telling you why. When a team has to pass more than they want to, that puts you in a predicament to be a great passing. That puts a team, the opposing defense, in a predicament to be a great passing defense. Because a lot of times, what ends up happening is if your team can't throw the ball as good as this team, you're gonna end up throwing interceptions. You're gonna end up taking sacks. That's what ends up happening in that particular situation. So Memphis has a good enough. I think the offense can be, you know what I'm saying, can take credit for that as well. You know what I'm saying? Because they are able to put up points in bunches as well. So yeah, that's not shocking at all. Because sometimes a good passing offense can help a good defense as
And
well
Temple
if they
got a
put it.
damn good passing offense too. Now, I mean that now Carey did he? I gotta give it to Rod Carey, man. Hey, like I said, they offense is old school with a twist. They pass first and run later.
Yeah.
And what he ran at Northern Illinois was just a fucking thing of beauty.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He basically created that Northern Illinois offense with the current head coach at NC State. So yeah, they came together and they was like, Dave Duran, they together built that program, Northern Illinois. They together came up with that offensive system, and they made Northern Illinois, what I'm saying, dominate the MAC. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, shout out to him. And like I say, he needs to just keep on recruiting well and keep on winning games as well.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying. And one thing about Northern Illinois, they
But they're
have
garbage now.
say
But
what now? But one
they're
thing
garbage now.
yeah, I know they're garbage, but at the time, because I wasn't at the Orange Bowl, but I was in the vicinity when they played against Florida State, which Florida State whooped their ass that year. But their fans travel like a motherfucker. They had probably they probably had like 100,000 people in just visiting, just being in the vicinity. Because sometimes people go there just to go to the local festivities and stuff like that, and then you got another bunches that's gonna actually be at the game. But them motherfuckers travel, dog. Them bitches be traveling. I'm like, damn, this is a small ass school, and y'all over here like that. I was in Miami, and for a small school at the particular time, because they putty patrollers right now, man. They doing the putty dances when they get hit on the field. But at that time, man, them motherfuckers was I didn't know if it was. I didn't know the difference between if you had the Florida State fans, because Florida State is all over the state. You know what I'm saying? That's but them dudes traveled all the way to Northern Illinois, and I don't know exactly. I think it's in the Chicago area. I want to say
DeKalb, that's DEKALB. My cousin's daughter. I think I forgot which one it was. I think it was whichever one of the daughters. I think it was Tashania. Shout out to my cousin Keon hitting one to his daughters and my other cousins too. She went there.
Yeah, it's in the Chicago metro area.
And that's that's a good school. So she went there. So I believe she graduated from there. I got to find out from her.
Yeah, so but they brought a lot of people. I have to say, because they brought a lot of people. And I don't think Northwestern brings that many fucking fans like they brought that particular time at the Orange Bowl. Because this was the year I spent New Year's in Miami, and they brought a whole lot of motherfuckers from the Chicago area. So shout out to them. But yeah, man, I think Temple. We probably gonna see Temple again because Memphis' schedule. Other than Houston and maybe SMU, they probably not gonna lose another game if they laser focused. Because I think they play Tulane sometime.
Well, everybody kind of slick hyping Tulane a little bit. Tulane been playing some ball.
Yeah, Tulane is what made old boy leave goddamn University of Houston. Tulane made them after they ran that trick ass play on them hoes, man. Them motherfuckers. That motherfucker said, "Man, I ain't playing football no more for you bitches."
Talking about that's all what it was, bro. Talking about King.
Yeah, King, you like, man, I ain't playing for you hoes no more. That nigga got in his feelings. I ain't playing for you niggas no more. Yeah, they play Tulane next weekend. Memphis play Tulane next week. They play Tulsa. SMU.
That's a win. Let's see. Tulane, that's a toss-up. Tulsa, that's a win. SMU, that's not a win. That's a loss. SMU been playing some badass ball lately.
They play Memphis in home, so they could go either way. I'll say that. I ain't gonna say that. That's an either way game.
Houston will definitely be a win. They just lucky they're not playing. Well, yeah, South Florida there to beat BYU today. The black quarterback, he only had several cups of coffee in that game, and that was about it. I don't want to get into that one.
Oh, so he lost to them.
Yeah,
BYU quarterback. Yeah, so but
now they went back. They went with another dude because the black dude he had several. Like I said, he had several cups of coffee that didn't pan out in the game, so they started somebody else.
But also to take it into consideration, they're not able to recruit like they want to either because it's a private institution. Even though they have 55,000 people at that university, which competes with public universities, they're very particular about who they let in that university, and then they have hoe-ass. They not only have hoe-ass academic standards, they have hoe-ass policies in that school because BYU that year that they went to the Sweet 16 against Florida with for Dredd, that black dude was suspended because he had premarital sex on the fucking campus. And they have some crazy rules out there because it's a Mormon university and it's hellified private. And they have some crazy ass policies. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, stop yourself from possibly competing for a national title, which that Florida team was hard to beat anyway.
Yeah.
But the black dude that they have, you know, he was the second leading scorer behind Fredette. Because Fredette, I think he led the nation. He either led the nation or he was in the top 2, top 3.
Yeah, he
Like
led nation scoring, but Jimmy Fredette's problem was he couldn't play no defense.
He couldn't play no defense, but he had that motherfucker had a jumper on that motherfucker. That white boy was popping them bitches. But the second leading scorer on the team was a black dude. You know, he was 6'9", 260, some shit like that. Because he smashed the bitch. You know what I'm saying? They told him he was suspended because he smashed the bitch from university policy. Bitch, get your stupid ass up out of here, you stupid ass motherfuckers. You stop your BYU has only won a national title in fucking, I think, baseball and football for sure. I know football for sure because they beat a 6-5 Michigan team that they barely beat. They barely beat them hoes. You know what I'm saying? One of Beckler's worst teams. You know what I'm saying? But those motherfuckers over there had those crazy ass policies that people don't want to deal with. I mean, you got people that could possibly go there, but they ain't trying to fuck with those damn stupid ass, extra emotional ass policies that they have over there. So it's not a shock that this is the first time they're starting a black quarterback. You know what I'm saying? This is not the first. This is not a shock to that. You know what I'm saying? Because they've had a black running back in the 90s. He was cold as hell. When Lavelle Edwards, I forgot his name.
Yeah,
he probably better than I do, but he.
No, I didn't follow BYU like that though.
Yeah. So,
but the only thing I remember with BYU did have consistent. I'm gonna tell you like this: my days of playing EA Sports NCAA football, they had the best damn playbook. That was the shit.
Because they ran that.
They ran the West Coast. They ran that the vertical West Coast offense.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they quarterback, even though they had slow ass white boys in that motherfucker. You know, every once in a while they get them one of the fast ones, but they had predominantly slow ass white boys. Them white boys be catching that motherfucker on motherfuckers. You better ask Miami in 1990. They had them butt hurt. They be having some boy. Them motherfuckers be having hands up in this motherfucker. They have no athletes whatsoever, but them bitches be catching that motherfucker. Catch them on a good day. They be catching that whole their ass. So I'll tell you, man, it's not a shock. It's not a shock that this is a historic moment. But again, you know, BYU just have shitty policies. And it's not just black people that don't want to go to their university. You know, because for the most part, they'll be on the track team, they'll be on the basketball, maybe the football team on a good day. But you know, you got white kids and other ethnic groups don't want to fuck with that shit either. So it's just it's one of those all across the board things. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
All right, now Jimmy, got a Pacific tune just for y'all, just for you, and it's a cut-in segment called "Get 'Em, Jimmy."
Okay.
So here's the tune. Jimmy finna get him, y'all. Get him, Jimmy, on Willie Taggart. Go.
Willie Taggart, he need to get his shit together. I mean, I expected him to lose, regardless of whether this was a competitive game or not, because it definitely was not competitive. This is the second year in a row where Florida State get their ass, and I say they ass handed to them. They put them on their shoulder and got them criminals, Florida State criminals as they call them, and spanked them on their ass. You know, the Tigers just bit them on their ass. Fucking Willie Taggart. Willie, what the fuck are you doing, man? You need to stop playing musical chairs with these goddamn these quarterbacks, man. Make up your mind who you want to be the fucking quarterback and stick with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't give Blackman a chance. I'll say that. You didn't give that nigga a chance. You just pulled him out and pulled the other guy in there, and he didn't do much better. He threw the first interception of the game, and then from that point on, fucking Clemson Tide whooped that ass. You know, again, I expected Florida State to lose regardless, whether it was close or not so close. Here's the thing with Taggart. Taggart, you better make a bowl game this year. You need to put your head down, and your ass better win out. You know, Florida, you might not beat them because Florida's looking to go to the SEC title. depending on what happens between Georgia and Florida, that's a rival. That could go either way. That's as close to a rivalry you could possibly have it because they're basically even in terms of all-time series wins against one another. But you better put your head down and you better win out up until that Florida game. Because if you have another losing season, them motherfuckers finna get you up out of they finna get you up out of Tallahassee. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And for you not to be able to recruit this, didn't I say earlier in the year that wasn't able to get a quarterback on that roster in spite of them having a number 13 recruiting
Yes, you
class? I
did.
think yeah, so you fucking up hands down because the other quarterbacks you have is transfers. They didn't get that from the recruiting class. They got that from transfers.
Mm-hmm. Now
You better put your head. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I mean the stats. James Blackman went 9 for 23 for 66 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The Hornibrook dude, his backup, went 8 for 12 for 84 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. But continue.
Yeah,
I'm finna pull up their schedule. I'm finna find their schedule in a minute. They got Wake Forest next week. At Wake Forest and then Syracuse at home. Miami. Now this is what here's their schedule. They're at Florida State next week. Then they have 2 home games with Syracuse on the 26th and Florida and Miami comes to town on the 11th on the 2nd of next month. Then at Boston College, where we might as well put that as a loss because Florida State always has trouble with Boston College. Okay, then they got Alabama State, the game that was rescheduled, so that'll be a win there. And then they're at Florida, so they're 3-3 right now, right? Okay,
right.
they'll be 3-4. I'm taking long pauses. I'm figuring something out here.
Yeah.
They gonna have to win. They're gonna have to beat. They're gonna have to be. They're gonna have to. Cause I know Wake Forest. They ain't finna lose no 2 games in a row at home. So Florida State might well get ready to take that L. They're gonna have to beat Syracuse, Miami. If they get past Boston College, they straight. Alabama State, that's gonna be a win. But we know they ain't gonna beat Florida. So that's gonna be they're gonna be a 7-5 team. And the
Yeah.
max amount of wins you can get Bo Ellis before is 6. Baylor did it this week. Oklahoma did it today. SMU did it last week.
And Memphis would have did it had they not called that whole ass quarterback draw from 3rd and 7. They would have became bowl eligible, but Mike O'Hale, you fucking up. Always got to find a way to fuck the game up. But continue, sir.
So I do agree with Jimmy's rant, but I'm pretty sure he had more. But Willie, dog, and shout out to Trey Murphy, and because he's a Florida State fan, and I'm gonna take a shot at him because you know how some fans be they flip flop a whole lot. You know, I got a new saying about the left hand let the right hand know what it's doing, and the right hand let the left hand know what it's doing, vice versa, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Florida State fans will let piss know what shit is getting ready to do, and turn around and let shit know what piss getting ready to do. And that's facts.
Yeah, 1,000%, man. And like I say,
You
man,
know, but hold on. Everybody is faulting Kendall fucking Browse. No, it's not his fault that y'all quarterbacks suck. But then talking about the offense don't put up enough points. Um, it's not his fault that the quarterbacks ain't playing the way the fuck they supposed to. So how that's on the offensive coordinator? You fucking snatch up an offensive coordinator, Kendall Browse, who needs to go back down to Florida Atlantic because Charlie Weiss's son ain't doing work for shit down there, even though they're winning. Shit. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck happened to that Florida Atlantic team that damn near led the nation in Lane Kiffin's first year in every offensive category. That's what I want to see back. For real. Hell, Florida Atlantic playing better than Florida State right now.
Yeah. Shit.
But shit, Kendall Browns need to go back to Florida Atlantic and call the plays. Bro, when was the last time you seen a team other than Florida Atlantic set a record for having damn near 800 yards of total offense in one fucking game? Never.
No.
I remember when I was living in Huntsville, Alabama, guy, one of the plant managers, I told about because he said, yeah, Craig, I was down there. Why? He said, man, I was sitting there watching Florida Atlantic. He was like, ooh wee. He said, man. He said they don't get a defense no time. He said they really don't get no opposing teams off defense or offense no time to rest. He said because they were scoring. And when he told what game he was watching, I said, look at that. I said, look at how much yards total offense they put up in that game. Yeah. Woo! He's like, whoa, yeah. But let me tell the Knowles fans something.
Mm-hmm.
Even you, Murph, you my boy. And even though you stubborn as pig shit when you listen when it comes to listening like that, this all falls on the boss,
Mm-hmm.
Willie Taggart. Now I commend him for sitting Blackman down because yeah, Blackman was fucking up. He should have kept Hornibrook in. Ain't no way in hell Florida State would only score 14 points. 31 against Clemson. Yes. More asterisk, more on Clemson in a minute because I got some things to say about them. I'm gonna let Jimmy J rant continue his rant, but to every Florida State fan that is listening and to any of y'all down there in Tallahassee, I'm gonna say this on behalf of Jimmy Jsmoove myself. Willie Taggart, you letting us all down. You letting us all down.
Yeah, he truly is letting
Continue,
people
Jimmy.
down. He truly is letting people down. And like I say, man, Willie just need to get his shit together, man. Main thing, man. I mean, it's just pathetic right now. And like I say, he keep fucking up. If you don't at least get them to a bowl game, they gonna try to get him up out of there. I'm not saying they're gonna accomplish it, but they gonna try to get him up out of there. And like I say, I'm stressing this again, he should have stayed at fucking Oregon. My personal opinion.
Thank you.
He should have stayed at Oregon. And
He
I've been
had it
saying this
made at
multiple.
Oregon, dog.
Yeah, because it wasn't pressure on him at Oregon at all. It wasn't no pressure on him. They would have let him stay the duration of that contract. You know what I'm saying? At least. I think he would have been there for a minute. I'll say that because he's playing musical chairs with schools. I mean, he should have built Oregon first. Use that little Gulf Coast offense that you got over there at Oregon. Build your resume, and then he should have came to Florida State. But no, he wanted to play musical chairs at Florida State. And the requirements to success is pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just stay where you can have it made, really.
True,
So
that's true. And then I was reading. I get on Utopia Sports. There's a guy. Me and him. We talk probably. He's an Oregon fan. They are the fans. The fans love Taggart,
Mm-hmm.
but they understand what they had to do. But he also said that the fans really they pointing fingers at Oregon's number one booster because they had the bread to match that offer. They just didn't up on it. And I agree. Now, what Willie did with Oregon, hell yeah. Your first year, Oregon is leading the Pac-12 in 5 to 6 different offensive categories. You put together one hell of a fucking staff. Your defensive coordinator went from taking Oregon's defense from defense from the drizzling shits to the shits, meaning that it's good improvement. I ain't saying it not like it. There's a difference between the shits and the drizzling shits. The drizzling shits mean anytime you had Brady Hoke as your defensive coordinator previous year, and then you get fucking Jim Levitt, and he take a defense that went from damn near that was like in the hundreds to like 17th in the nation, and then was like, now I think they was like 17th. There was one category. I know there was one category they were in the top 10 nationally against the run.
Yeah.
But in the past, they were like mid-tier.
Yeah.
So you had to be doing something right. So yeah, again, Slick Willie, you letting us all down right now. You letting us all down. You letting Florida State Nation down, Nose Nation down right now. You letting all Nose Nation down right now. And basically what Jimmy J is saying is this: get your act together, dude.
Get that shit together.
Get your shit together. Break out that Slick Willie mentality. You 40, you 2 years older than I am, dude. I'll be 41 Monday. By the way, my cash app is Craig7830. If you want to send gifts. It's no excuse. It's no excuse for that. It's really no excuse for what Willie needs to do. Jimmy, probably talk about a little something right fast. I gotta go to the water hole. Be right back.
All right. Live and direct, full effect. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to tell the boxing fans about my boy Errol Spence. He had got into a serious car crash. Now the good thing is his life is not threatened, and neither is his boxing career. But he'd probably be out up until the summer of 2020. You know, he was ejected from his Lamborghini. I think it was a sports car. I'm not sure if it was a Lamborghini. I just know it was a sports car, and he was ejected. And people thought it was life threatening, but it's not life threatening, according to my boy Black Fight Fan out of, I mean, not to say Houston, but out of Dallas, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Because he's real close to those guys over there in the Dallas area. But Errol Spence will be all right in terms of his career and his health. So that's the good thing. You know, prayers up, and we just wanted to make sure the dude is okay. Hopefully, you know, he can get his act together. People say he does have a drinking problem and stuff like that. And if that's true, you know, he needs to get it together. But I'm not going to put it out there. That's what people say. So, I mean, it is what it is when it comes to Errol Spence up in this thing, man. So that's my thing with boxing. Now, last week we had a big fight with Triple G versus Darianchenko, with Triple G winning controversially, because it is controversial. Triple G did not win that fight. I had Darianchenko up probably a couple of rounds, maybe 3 rounds. At worst case scenario, the fight could have been called a draw, and I think it would have been fair because there were a couple of swing rounds, but Triple G lost that fight, and I think the promoters is trying to get another Canelo rematch, but that Canelo rematch, he don't want any parts of Canelo, because trust me, if he fights Canelo again, in my personal opinion, he's gonna get knocked the fuck out this time, because they've already fought twice, and he got bitched up the first really the first time, the last 4 rounds of the fight, Canelo earned his draw. The second fight, Canelo clearly won the fight up until probably like 3 of the last 4 rounds. But Canelo closed out. Canelo dominated the early rounds. So it's propaganda when it comes to that particular fighter in particular. So Triple G won, but he didn't beat that dude. You know, as a boxing fan, you know he didn't win that fight. So it is what it is.
What
So
it is.
I assume you're back. So
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir. So with that being said, Slick Willie, get better. Now, the other topic we're gonna talk about is this bullshit that's going on. And I think shout out to our guy Willie D, man. He said it best. This bullshit that the Dallas police is talking about with these three dudes is bullshit.
Total bullshit.
Total bullshit. How, before you say anything, Jimmy, okay, as y'all know, Josh Brown was a key witness. Now let's fill everybody in if they don't know, but if they know, we're gonna replay it anyway quickly. Josh Brown, there were two key witnesses in this Amanda Geiger trial. One was Josh Brown. The verdict was passed out last. Matter of fact, it'll be 2 weeks, I think, either Tuesday or Wednesday. And the next thing you know, last Friday, he gets killed. Then all of a sudden, correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy, that Saturday or Sunday, Dallas police arrest three guys. One of them is 32 years old, the other is 22, and the other is 20. Now, from what the news reports are saying, that the Dallas Police Department questioned the 20-year-old, the 20-year-old told them that they traveled from, get this, that they traveled from fucking Alexandria, Louisiana, to buy some weed from him, and it was a drug deal that went bad. Jimmy, everybody knows that is pure bullshit. Ain't nowhere in hell somebody gonna drive all the way from Alexandria, Louisiana, which is about, and Willie D even said it. He said from Houston, it's probably about a good 4 hours. He said now from Dallas, it's a little bit less. Because Texas and Louisiana are right there at each other.
But traffic, you're going to catch traffic. When you get to Houston, you're going to catch traffic. Before you get from Houston to Dallas, you're going to catch some type of traffic unless you're leaving it out at night. Or you either got to leave at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or you got to leave late at night to where there's virtually no traffic, because that's the only way you're not going to catch it. But for him to drive all the way from Alexandria,
for them, hell no. And then it's got bullshit written all over, dog. Come on.
I'm gonna go on a rant because,
matter of fact, you know what? Since you the co-host of my show, I'm calling the shots tonight. Go on ahead with this rant, dog.
This USDA certified bullshit does not make any sense when you think about it. The fact that a nigga from Alexandria, Louisiana, coming anywhere in Texas, when, first of all, that shit don't add up, because first and foremost, New Orleans is right down the street. And anybody that been on Bourbon Street, Canal Street, niggas sell weed over there all the time. Because I've recently, this is my first time ever going to New Orleans, actually making a real stop in New Orleans.
I ain't been in New Orleans in 19 years.
The first
20 years, really.
Yeah, the first of this year, when I came from Houston, I made a stop in New Orleans for the first time ever. Everybody knows that you can go to BR and get some weed, and you can go to New Orleans and get some weed. What the fuck you got to drive all the way to Dallas? That shit don't make no sense. You Dallas police, sorry motherfuckers, make that shit make some goddamn sense. You want to tell this goddamn lie because black people ain't gonna do nothing about it for the most part. We just gonna call you out. But this is the reason why I keep on saying black people need to stop being the stupid motherfuckers they are and get their own goddamn police department, because this is the shit we got to deal with these goddamn cocksucking ass polices out here. Is them making stories talking about a nigga going come all the way from Alexandria, Louisiana, when weed is legal in over there in Louisiana. Come on, man, make this shit make sense. Because if weed is legal in a certain part of Louisiana, that takes away from the street value. So what sense does it make to go all the way to fucking Texas to get some fucking weed when it's illegal in fucking Texas? Make this shit make sense. You gotta make this shit make sense. You motherfuckers think people internal investigation need to investigate this story immediately. Second, the man had death threats way before this situation even occurred.
Thank you.
They had death threats from the Dallas Police Department several different times. Not only that, the dude went out to a nightclub and got randomly bust on. One of his friends got killed in the act. Not only that, the dudes that were that's supposed to be responsible for his friend's murder got let out and got let out. There was no charges brought upon this dude. So this is police written all over it. Third, this dude lives in one of the richest neighborhoods in fucking Dallas, where his apartment complex has nothing but cameras. It's nothing but cameras all in that fucking particular apartment complex because it's not too far from downtown. You know
And
what I'm
hold
saying?
on, let me add that thought here.
Mm-hmm.
There's another key witness that also has been threatening. It's a female.
It's a female, and
she's been getting death threats,
and she lost her job randomly.
and she lost her job all of a sudden.
Exactly. So that don't make a lot of this shit is not adding up. And the Dallas Police Department and the Dallas County Police, they should not be investigating this. There should be an independent investigation done in this particular case. You're not going to sell me or anybody who's awakened in the black community this bullshit y'all selling about this particular Josh Brown. First of all, fourth, because I'm giving you four things. Why the hell he gonna try to sell some weed in Texas? Number one, it's illegal. Number two, you own a pending investigation about the dudes, both them Johns coon ass murder. Because I'm just gonna say, I think that motherfucker was a coon. With what's going on, the guy shouldn't have got killed. Nobody should get killed in that manner.
Man, and you want to know what's funny about that, Jim? Before you get on the rant, when you said that earlier, it ain't it ain't just blacks that's finding it to be bullshit. White people finding that to be bullshit too. And anytime when white folks say that's bullshit, I'm not racist. None what's forbidden. I mean, I'll be honest. I get along. I got some white friends myself, but lately there have been a lot. There have been a lot of white folks that have been getting woke on a lot of shit. And man, I've been looking, and then like when I get on Twitter and stuff like that, talking about when they were talking about this stuff, nothing but white people talking about this shit. They said that's a bunch of bullshit. Even the old white dude even said on Twitter, he said if you gave me $100 million to try to sell the story to me, I still wouldn't buy it from you, or vice versa. That's bullshit. And the guy said the same thing you said. He said because if you sell it, weed is illegal in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So again, how the fuck, and I was talking with an old coworker of mine, and I'm gonna say this before you continue your rant. I brought up a good little theory. I said everybody know this ain't nothing but a hit. Okay. This is a well-planned hit by some dirty cops that wanted to that need to make an extra little piece of change for themselves to finally pay that house note off finally so it can be their shit or whatever, or vice versa. Or they divorce so they can get the side chick to move in or whatnot, or pay a child support thing, whatever. Probably was a dirty mission so they can knock them off. Now, what made it so bad, everybody in the apartment complex saw a what they said, a silver sedan speeding off. And even somebody got the license plate number off of it. So what I'm trying to figure out is what Dallas police now that what they the new mob of Dallas, because are they the new mob of Dallas? Do they got who do they answer to Vito Corleone or somebody? Godfather reference there. But excuse me again. I'm sorry, I was drinking some. But I was telling a co-worker of mine, I said, I can equate this to as to what happened with excuse me, y'all. I apologize for that. There's just sudden burps and stuff. I apologize, burping. I can equate this hit to as to what happened with JFK, let alone what happened with Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King get assassinated, all of a sudden you charge this guy out the blue 2 days later.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute, y'all. But continue.
Another reason why this shit don't make goddamn sense. First of all, you're a key witness in a nationally publicized case. First of all, if he was really slinging weed or slinging any kind of dope, why would you put yourself in that predicament? I don't believe this story for one fucking second. This is a story that we knew that was going to be created by the corrupt ass Dallas Police Department. They've been corrupt for many years. They've been corrupt for many goddamn years. Why would you? Why? First of all, if you're a street dude selling dope or doing something illegal, what are the rules to being on the streets? And I've never did street shit, but I've been around the streets and I've studied the streets. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things you don't do as a street dude is you don't put yourself in a predicament to where you're gonna make the block hot, and you don't put yourself in a predicament to where you're gonna get fucked up. That don't make him testifying in a highly publicized court case against the Dallas police where his life was in fucking danger, and he's selling weed in a upscale Dallas neighborhood. That shit don't add up, Dallas police or Dallas government. That shit don't add fucking up. Why would a fucking street dude put himself in a predicament of getting killed? I don't get that shit. Y'all motherfuckers is making up bullshit as y'all go and trying to sell this to the goddamn public. I don't want to hear this shit about this nigga selling weed, nigga. Give me more motherfucking evidence. Give me more motherfucking evidence than what you're giving us right now, trying to sell this racist ass, certified bullshit ass story. Well, give us more evidence than this shit. Give us more motherfucking evidence than this, because I gave you 4 points on why this shit does not make any goddamn sense. This shit is fucking racist as hell. I'm calling it what it is. You motherfucking pigs is on some fucking bullshit with this goddamn story. You motherfucking, all of a sudden people lose their job, people lose their life because you want to shut them motherfuckers up. You don't want people to bring out the goddamn truth. And again, both them John's family got fucking bloods on their hands, undermining people like that. You got people life at risk. You talking about you forgiving this shit. This is the goddamn type of bullshit I'm talking about.
I want to be your friend.
You fake ass Christian motherfuckers out here. Bitch, you don't even forgive your goddamn sister for fucking your husband. So how the fuck you gonna say you forgive some
damn
your own goddamn for killing your own goddamn son? How the fuck you gonna explain that?
Damn.
How the fuck you gonna goddamn explain that? You can't even forgive your own goddamn family member. You can't. Some of you motherfuckers can't forgive your own goddamn mama. Much less motherfucker that killed your own goddamn son. So how the hell you gonna tell me you forgive this motherfucker? And this is the type of shit we gotta deal with as black people. Get a goddamn police department. And don't apologize for me ranting, because this ain't gonna be. I'm telling the goddamn.
I ain't apologize. Hey, hold on, because I'm not apologizing, ranting.
We'll talk about this off air, because we gotta.
Because hey, you saying stuff that I feel right now. Because I'm gonna say some stuff in the middle of this rant too. A lot of people, when I talk about some of this stuff, some people take me seriously, but then you got some of these other spoon sucker heads out here that don't take me seriously on stuff like that. They think that, oh, Craig, you ain't nothing but a geek. All you think about is just comic books, video games, and football, and all this and that. I'm woke, okay?
Yeah, but
I'm gonna tell you something. I've been woke about a lot of things. Cause I learned my I learned my first hand of racism and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you my first experience of racism was I was 9 years old, going on 9, back in '87. Tell this quick story before you finish your rant. Uh, my pops was working for this place. He because he had a little side job. This something I failed to tell it on the Christmas tribute on your show. He worked for a dude. Not gonna say his name. Uh, let's put it like this. He was pretty well known in the Shire. All right, I'll tell you about that later. So he had a regular job as a. And I think I told you about the dude because you remember me telling you a story about a guy that he worked for when pops would never come home with his paycheck cash money.
Yeah.
He would fuck it up,
Yeah.
and he kept it, and he gave up, and he gave mom's pops his pay for that week
Yeah.
plus some.
Yeah.
Okay, well the plus some, pops did odd jobs. He had to make some pickups. Okay,
Yeah.
my first tried hand at racism. There was a white dude. Pops and I went in this jewelry store, so I can't. I'm not gonna tell you what the codes was or something like that because I remember Pop said something about I'm picking up some picking up some coal for such. He told me it was hot. I'm just saying code like that. I don't know how the street code is, but he got what I meant. So Pops picked that up for him, whatnot. And the dude it was in the jewelry store. And the dude behind the counter was white. So I had my glasses on, I had some bifocals and stuff on. So he did some little shit. And when I saw him get Pops that all that money and shit like that, it was like it was a nice little piece of change. The white dude flicked the shit in my face and kind of like rubbed my face in front of that shit. I was like, and right in front of my glasses, and I kind of pushed his hand back. And I told him, I said, man, don't do that. I said, don't you do that no more. He said, what you say? I said, don't you do that no more. I said, man, you know better. And like that. And Pop said he like he better do what you said. And he gonna look at my pops and everything. He said, you know, when Pops gave him that look like, mm, you know, yeah. And he looked at it like, yeah, He said he know what's up. He said my son know what's up. Yeah, that was my first thing. I think that was my first shot, my first little hint at racism right there and there. White dude gonna brush all that money up in my face. I wore some big ass glasses. And he gonna rub that shit up my face. Said, "Can you see it real good?" And I like, and I pushed his hand back. You know, don't do no shit like that, man. And then and when I got in the car, I was mad. And Pops was like, "You all right?" And I didn't say nothing. He said, "We're gonna drive around for a minute. We're gonna stop up here, Rick's store. There's a grocery store that's up on the house I lived. I'm gonna tell you one of my old addresses. Look it up, y'all. 135 West 113th place. It's vacant now. It's condemned now. Because that was a duplex. Because he bought me a Pop said he had the money. He bought something. He bought me something. He bought me because that's when Minute Maid had their sodas and shit. I
Yeah.
used to do Minute Maid sodas and Lay's Flaming Hots, and them bad boys is flaming hot. Jay's Flaming Hot chips. Jay's potato chip. That's a Chicago staple. And he bought me that. And I calmed down. Kind of calmed down a little bit. I said, "Huh, get at your mama, and then tell her I'll be back. I'll be on home." And then and whatever. And say and then he put some money back, and that was it. It really, really at 9 years old, I would say that was my first experience, and it was not only just racism. It was my form of bullying from an adult. So, but enough of that story. Continue, Jimmy, because I know you still got some more to rant on.
So my thing is, black people, we have to set up a protection mechanism, an organized protection mechanism. We got to stop getting infiltrated when it comes to our protection, because the Black Panthers had the right idea. They made some key wrong moves. Especially with Fred letting any and everybody in his version of the Panthers up in Chicago before they killed him, because that was one of the things that got Fred Hampton and his security guard killed, and it would have gotten Fred Jr. killed had they been in the same room. You know what I'm saying? So we got to learn how to protect ourselves as a community. This is absolute crap what we got to deal with, and we got all these forgiving niggas, especially some of these foreign coons. A lot of these motherfuckers are coming from different, sides of the globe, from the West Indian coons, and we got African coons. And again, like Tariq Nasheed said, we're not talking about all people from Africa that's coons, because I have close people that I fuck with tough that are African, and we gonna bust head together. So this is not talking about all African coons. This is not talking about all African people. This is talking about just the coons in y'all community. Y'all got to G-check some of that shit that's coming out of Africa and the West Indies, because they not gonna go down to Jamaica and tap dance like that. They're gonna come here to tap dance, because a lot of them motherfuckers is insecure. They trying to get a butter biscuit green card. Cool ass St. Lucius line ass dick in the booty ass family ought to be a fucking shame of themselves for putting this man in a predicament like that. You could have just told the man, don't testify. You could have told the black community, we forgives these people way before you had key witnesses in there risking their life just to talk about use forgives, give me a hug, Miss Massa Geiger. You a bitch.
Let me rub your hair. Let me brush your hair. Let me sex you down. And yes, I did admit on Jimmy Jsmoove I will hit that. But continue. Yeah. But
just get it in her mouth for me, and make sure you skeet in her eyes well, so she can go blind. But
I don't want to make her blind, bro.
Fuck that hoe. You fuck that hoe. I don't give a fuck about that bitch. But anyway, you entire both them John family, y'all motherfuckers just need to go back to where y'all came from. I'm just gonna keep it 1,010, because you a fucking embarrassment to black people. You're a fucking embarrassment to black society, and this is why I preach about reparations. Go back to my my simulcast on the types of reparations we need. Reparations is needed at this point, because if we're gonna have to deal with race soldiers dealing, because you're not a fucking officer. Once and even the Constitution classifies you as just a fucking race soldier. When you kill people because of their skin tone, because you feel like you can get away with some shit, you're not an officer. And Dallas PD is caping for Amber Geiger. They trying to, send a message to black people, trying to commit mass genocide. My thing is, drop it off, ho. I don't want to hear DJ Vlad's opinion on reparations, because you motherfucker, you from fucking Russia. You don't have a right to talk about black people, what black people need. All you motherfuckers talking about black people need education as a form. Just kiss my entire
TV.
Fag TV. Fuck that bitch ass motherfucker. Fag TV. That's what that bitch is. Fuck DJ Vlad. And if a motherfucker offended, make like Jalen Butthurts and make up for that shit, bitch. That's what the fuck it is. Fag TV. That's what that. Fuck that culture vulture hoe. I'm gonna have a rank for that little goddamn motherfucker bushwhacker Bill looking ass. Not Bushwick Bill, but bushwhacker Bill. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, motherfuckers that come from different countries, black people of African or black people of West Indian descent, they come down here and undermine black society. And this been going on for 50 years. You got people from Afro-Latino people coming in from Cuba joining racist organizations. And they may as well have did it them. The John family may as well have did it them goddamn selves. But you bitches from the both them John family, you AIDS infested dick eating ass motherfuckers from St. Lucia, you motherfuckers got blood on your hands. You motherfuckers got blood on your hands, and you need to be dealt with. You need to be dealt with your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is the Dallas police is full of shit. This entire investigation is full of shit. There needs to be an outside entity other than the Dallas Police Department or anybody from the metropolitan area, you know, the Dallas metropolitan area. They don't need to be investigating this shit because they truly showing that they're incompetent in this situation. They had a lot to do with this goddamn shit. You know, you make up this bullshit talking about a motherfucker from Alexander, Louisiana, when motherfuckers get their weed, they can just drive up to New Orleans, they can just drive up to BR. Hell, they could probably drive up to Shreveport and get some better weed than this bullshit we be this Reggie ass weed up in Texas. And I don't smoke weed like that. You know what I'm saying? That's please be clear. You know, I just know the terminology is what a lot of these Reggie ass weed smokers do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they could get some better shit out there than this bullshit. So stop selling this bullshit, goddamn Dallas Police Department. And both them John family, bitch, blood is on your hand, ho. And you need to go back to where you came from, ho. So, you know, that's my rant for that particular situation, man. You got anything else you want to say about this bullshit?
Nope.
Okay.
Um, well, I found out an update. We had a little old school concert here at the Lander Center, you know, with 3-6 Mafia and DMX and everybody was spoken here. Shout out to my guy Greg Parker. He said DMX canceled and got replaced by the Yang Yang twins. Okay, but but anyway, um, speaking of Jalen Hurts, Red River Shootout. Now, I don't like Oklahoma.
Me neither.
They're overrated, but I support Jalen Hurts.
Right.
He fits that offense pretty good, damn good.
Right.
I don't like Texas because Tom Herman went from being the quietest shit, and then all of a sudden he got that money from Texas. He turned out to being a bigger fucking scumbag than he is,
Mm-hmm.
and everything else.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, if everybody know, won 34-20. I think it's 34, yeah, 34-27. Takeaways from the game. Jimmy gonna tell you his takeaways last, but I'm saving the best for last. My takeaway is this: Sam Ellinger is not a is not first round material for next year's NFL draft as a top 10 quarterback in the draft. He is garbage. He makes my garbage. He makes my most smelliest garbage look bad and and smell terrible. Okay, he's garbage.
Mm-hmm.
First play in every game, nobody's open. He has to break out running. Reason being, he has a bad offensive line. Texas defense, Gary Orlando, he need to change up a little bit. Stop blitzing every damn thing. You are not Buddy fucking Ryan. Hell, I don't even know what defensive front you running. You just come on out in any formation and just blitz and drop one or two and a drop 1 or 2 back on coverage. Texas need to be a little bit more conservative on defense. But wait a minute, but I did know some. Let me take that back. He did play some of the right defense against Georgia in the Sugar Bowl earlier this year when Texas beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. Okay, so fuck you, Gary Orlando. But Ellinger sucks. The offensive line needs a lot of work. Defense, yeah. Jimmy may have a counteract to that. The defense used a lot of man coverage on Jalen Hurts. That confused the shit out of him. He finished 16 for 28 today, which ain't bad. I put it like this: 16 for 28, three pass touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown and 1 interception is better than 28 for 51 for 295 and 1 touchdown for three interceptions there, Jake Fromm. So,
Yep.
but Jalen did show a little bit of freshman of 50 different coordinator style, 50 different coordinators in year. Jalen Hurts from Alabama a little bit, but let's keep it 1,010. Texas pressured the shit out of them, and what I felt what they could have done more to win that game. They could have used a little bit more bump and run coverage, man, mixing in a little bit of zone, or do like Dick LeBeau, run all three at once because you don't know what the hell you're gonna get. Matter of fact, Todd Grantham, who's back in Florida, who's Florida's off defensive coordinator, he does it all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He disguises a blitz somewhere. Hell, the fuck cornerback blitz come out from somewhere. I mean, but I felt Texas could have ran a little bit more a mix of all three, man, zone, and blitz, instead of just blitz, 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 blitz,
Uh-huh.
man, blitz. You one dimensional, So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Hurts had a good game, and like I said, he had a pretty good game. He picked it up, but the defense rattled him a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but what you think about that, Jimmy?
Well, Jalen Hurts had his butt hurts moment. I ain't gonna lie, because that's what I call him when he fucking up. His butt hurt moment. However, in spite of him having his butt hurt moments, he didn't get rattled. Uh, he didn't get rattled to the point to where he put them in a predicament to lose a game. Because you're gonna have games to where you're gonna have to go through the fire. But he definitely had his butt hurt moments, especially early in the first half. But in the second half, he looked magnificent. In the second half. One thing I don't like about Jalen Hurts, I think we've spoken on this for years, his years at Alabama. He needs to learn how to slide or get out of bounds or avoid taking unnecessary punishment. I never did like that about Jalen Hurts.
And let me add an editor's note on that because I got to make a run of the water hole. I'm let you keep talking. Reggie Bush also made that same point you made too, and he said, plus he said that he wished that Jalen Hurts stopped carrying the ball like it's a loaf of bread.
Yeah, and that's what made him fumble the ball the first time. That could have easily put them in a predicament to where they would have blown out. I think if hadn't been for those first three
Keep
first
going.
half they would first half turnovers. They would have blowed them out easily. But he got rattled by those blitzes in the first half, and that slowed them down from really beating them worse than what they could have been beaten on. But he he weathered the storm. I'll give him credit where credit is due. He weathered the storm. But again, I just wish that kid would run out of bounds. I wish that kid would slide some goddamn time because this ain't high school football to where you as a quarterback can take just any kind of hit or you can run and you just mobile quarterbacks. It's nothing wrong with being a mobile quarterback because if I had a quarterback, if I'm a head coach of any football team, rather high school, professional level, I would prefer a mobile quarterback over somebody that just standing a stationary ass quarterback. I just prefer that. I think it's more you can do a lot more with somebody who can move as opposed to someone who's just a stationary target. That's just my views of quarterback play. But I wish he would just, when you have the opportunity to run out of bounds, run out of bounds. When you have an opportunity to slide, slide. He needs to do that more often because if he gets to the next level, which I don't know if he becomes a number one pick, but he could be a first round pick at least from what Lincoln Riley is doing. And Lincoln Riley has done a good job with Jalen Hurts. I cannot stress more. He's done a better job with Nick Saban. And Nick Saban, in my personal opinion, could be argued as the greatest coach. He's definitely no lower than two as football head coach. He's no lower than number two. You can argue between Bear Bryant. I wasn't around with Bear Bryant. I did study some of this, but it could be argued. I'll say that at this point. I think if Saban wins another championship, he probably didn't surpass Bear Bryant. Bear Bryant had 6 championships. Nick Saban has 6 championships, but Lincoln Riley has done a better job than Nick Saban in terms of offense. But Nick Saban is not an offensive guy, so that's another argument you can have as well. but Lincoln Riley has done work wonders. But I wish Hurts would be more careful because somebody gonna want to get that hit on your ass. You got to understand, Jalen Hurts. You the man in town. You the big, for lack of a better term, you the big drug kingpin in the hood, and people want your spot. So if one of them DBs or one of them linebackers pop your ass, and you get a season-ending injury, they may not laugh. You may not laugh at it in person, but they damn sure in that locker room be like, "Oh, I knocked that motherfucker ass off, and I knocked him out the game." We brag about that in football. You know what I'm saying? To knock a motherfucker out and make them hurt. That's laughable in the locker room. We might not laugh on television or in an interview, but we laugh at your bitch ass. Yeah, I play football. You know what I'm saying? We laughing at your bitch ass. So, with that being said, Jalen, good job with Jalen Hurts. Now, I'm gonna talk about Ellinger, Westlake hype job, because ever since Drew Brees had won the state championship in 1996, 95.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
This is another edition of Jimmy Get 'em on Let's Draw on Something. So, one more time with the theme song. This is going to be the official Jimmy theme song with Jimmy Get 'em. Get him, Jimmy.
So ever since Drew Brees won the state championship in 96, we've been having a shitload of hype jobs coming out of that high school in Austin, Texas, Westlake High School. Nick Foles came from Westlake High School. Every once in a while, you get a Westlake guy out of every 7.
At least Nick Foles.
Nick Foles went to Westlake. Every 7-10 years, you have somebody that's legitimate to the hype. You did have a guy come out of Westlake that went to Ohio State. I think he won a national title under, I want to say, what's the last coach? I had a brain freeze, but one Jim of those guys. Yeah, so I think one of those guys out of Westlake, he was a wide receiver, but mostly 3 quarterbacks, tight ends, offensive linemen. But it's been a lot of guys that's been misses more than hits. Nick Foles was the exception, but Nick Foles got the opportunity mainly because Michael Vick got hurt and old boy Carson, I can't get it right, Wentz got hurt as well. And
Shannon Shaw called him Walker to him Wentz.
Walking to me Wentz. So and again, Nick Foles showed up at the right time for the Philadelphia Eagles after getting released and came back and helped them win a Super Bowl. And I still to this day, I think they should have kept Nick Foles. But other than Nick Foles and future Hall of Famer Drew Brees, most of y'all guys that came out of Westlake High School have been shit. Even the dude from Wake Forest that set all those records, he was very overrated. He's terrible. I think it was Jordan Price. I think his name is. I didn't forget either Jordan or Carson Price. Where the fuck that motherfucking name? But
the quarterback. What year did he play?
Hold on. Let me go to the Westlake. Because
I got it. You said his name was Jordan Price.
I think his name either Jordan or Carson Price, but he's the second all-time leading passer at Wake Forest. But
let me pull him
up. But it's definitely
okay. Jordan Price, actor. Carson Price, but continue. Let me keep looking.
Yeah, I'm going on the notable alumni Westlake High School. Tanner Price, I'm sorry. That's his name. Tanner Price out of Wake Forest. But you have more misses than hits. Nick Foles was an exceptional quarterback. Drew Brees was an exceptional quarterback, but y'all be having a lot of hype jobs that come out of Westlake. Justin Tucker, he's a kicker, but he doesn't have a lot of responsibilities. But it's been a lot of hype jobs y'all been having over there up at Westlake. And y'all got to cut this shit out when it comes to putting the hype jobs on these quarterbacks. Just because they come from this high school don't mean they're the best quarterback since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Hell, just because you come out of Katy High School, and Katy currently has the most state championships out of the state of Texas. with 9 state titles. You know, Coach Joseph have done a great job over there at Katy. You know, which is Katy is in the Houston area. If you don't know the Houston area, but if you follow football, you know where Katy is. I mean, this is what it is. But guys, stop hyping all these. Ellinger is a fucking hype job. Let's just keep it 1,010. He's at Texas. He's the starting quarterback at Texas because of what high school he went to out there in Austin. He's the starting quarterback, and the dude is hot. Garbage. This nigga got more sacks in this game today than HEB, Walmart, and Fiesta Mart. This nigga took more sacks than those goddamn grocery chains combined. Hell, and this dude garbage. He hot garbage. Yeah, he put up great numbers and shit like that, but nigga, you garbage. I mean, you in the big sale, and not the Big 12, but the big sale. Cause goddamn it, they can sell the entire conference because y'all play no goddamn defense. You in the big sale, nigga. If you wasn't playing at Texas, you wouldn't even be starting. The only reason why this motherfucker started is he's from Westlake first and foremost, and two, you know what I'm saying. You know, those motherfuckers just keep up with motherfuckers with like y'all. You know, at least Drew Brees got them to their first state title. He was legit. Nick Foles was legit. You know, Nick Foles. I mean, Brees didn't go to Texas, University of Texas. He made the right thing, right move by going to Purdue. I'm not sure where Nick Foles went to, but I know
he went there. Nick Foles went to Arizona. So he made the right decision by going west. I commend him. He probably wouldn't have gotten in the league had he not went there. But these motherfuckers just be hyping up all these motherfuckers who coming out of Westlake. That be ESPN doing that shit. You notice Fox Sports 1 don't never do no shit like that. But that be ESPN doing that bullshit. Well, his dad was such, and he came from the famous Westlake High down there in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, and like I say,
who gives a fuck? He got it.
You got good football players that come out of there from other skill positions because, you know, Westlake is a predominantly white school. You know, they may have one or two black guys. Mainly they're the running backs. They're the wide receivers. You know, a couple of guys actually went to, you know, it was a guy that went to Ohio State. I can't think of the year, but I was, you know, they came out of Westlake, but they be hyping a lot of those dudes up out there, man. And like I say, some of them be the shit. Nick Foles was the shit. Brees was the shit, but just because Brees and Foles came out of high school, don't mean this motherfucker right here is any good. Ellinger showed how garbage he was today. You know, yeah, you can argue the offensive line, but nigga, you holding the ball too goddamn long.
And that's his main problem. Because remember what I told you privately, Jimmy. I said if John Gruden wasn't coaching, and if he had his quarterback camp this year, he would be grilling the shit out of Sam Ellinger. And when he be grilling these quarterbacks, man, he tell the fucking truth. He would get on the NFL draft and say he would tell the truth about these guys. He don't sugarcoat shit. The same exact shit he'd tell Sam Ellinger, say, here's your problem right here.
Yeah.
You got to let that ball go. Before that pressure comes, he said, like, boom. He said that if that running back from the rate, if that lineman get ready to raise his hand, you better throw that ball quick.
Oh yeah, or you know, or they every quarterback or every offensive lineman got a signal to where you're gonna get sacked. Some guys actually say sack in the back or which basically means they say sack. That basically means somebody's they let a possible lineman or they can't pick up the blitz and you got to get rid of the ball or you better have damn good feet. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's
I give it to him. Ellinger he has some good footwork at times when his brain program his feet to do so. But he is not top 10 material to me, dog. He's more like second to third round material. He's got a lot of fucking mechanics to work on.
He's a backup fucking quarterback. And for him to be in a Tom Herman system, to be playing that goddamn garbage, and to come out of a Westlake high school, let's not get it twisted. The coach is over there. I don't know the exact head coach is, but he's been there for many years. I can't think of the gentleman's name, but he's a good coach. The problem is ESPN and all these other recruiting sites. I can't blame Rivals because Rivals is spot on when they talk about recruiting. So I can't really piss on them because they do look at people that are being pissed on. But other recruiting sites, they be hyping these dudes that
Todd Dodge.
Yeah, so they be hyping these dudes up too fucking much. That's the guy's name out of the head coach of out of Westlake.
Yeah, Todd Dodge.
Todd Dodge. So he does a great job of getting those guys to where they need to be, at least to a good university. You know, if you're a quarterback at Westlake, you're gonna get a D1 call. It might not be to the Texases or Houston or North Texas, which I call Oklahoma North Texas anyway, because everybody from Oklahoma, I'll say if they got 100 kids on that roster, I'll say 80, at least 70 of those guys are from Texas.
And on a side note, his son is coaching South Lake.
South Lake. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, his son Riley is coaching South Lake.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, those he has a good program out there. He's a great head coach. And that's not the fault of the coach. He's but because he's doing what he need to do as a head coach. If he can get you, if I'm a head coach and I got hype jobs as quarterbacks, basically, I'm gonna make sure my kids get into these schools because I get credit for that. I might get a college head coaching job because of that. I might be an offensive coordinator paying me more money. I might become I might get a little raise here and there. You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame the head coach because it's on a high school level. So Todd Dodge is doing what he needs to do. But these recruiting people, these people that talks about recruiting sites, not named Rivals, because Rivals get it right in most cases, but ESPN and all these other guys, Fox and all these other guys, they do too much with these guys out there at Westlake. They do too much with them. And like I say, it's not Dodge's fault. Dodge is doing what he needs to do as a head coach. But man, stop hyping these dudes up every time they come out of high school. Yeah, these guys come from a great system. They have a great system. And I've even talked to people that play for Katy, because 9 times out of 10, if Katy makes it to the state championship, guess who they're going to play? Westlake. They're going to play them. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to play somebody from San Antonio or somewhere. But they have a great system. They're like the BYU of fucking Texas football. So that gives you that's one of the reasons why they quarterbacks is gonna get thing. But looking at Sam Ellinger, whatever the fuck his name is, this motherfucker don't look like he spent a day in the game room at Westlake.
Look at his mugshot. Look at his face. You can tell he doesn't.
Mugshot. This fool said mugshot.
His school mugshot.
It don't look like he spent the day, because like I say, they run a similar. They're like I say, they tell me from what I talk to, because I talk to a lot of former guys who didn't play with several NFL guys. You run into that in Houston all the time. But what they tell me, they're the version of BYU. Westlake is their version, is Texas' football version, because like I say, they're predominantly white high school, which fucking Austin is like 90% white and Mexican, basically. Not a lot of black people live there in Austin area, because it's too fucking expensive to live in. They got $900 rents, $900 a month, 1-bedroom apartments, which niggas ain't trying to fuck with that out in Texas, especially for that don't have no sport franchise at all. We're not trying to spend that kind of money. But the thing is, Ellinger needs to get in the game room. He needs to get in the film room and study. He needs to learn how to use his checkdowns, use his running backs more. He needs to be more accurate. He needs to have more vision on the field than just his happy ass feet. Yeah, I like your mobility, but dude, you got to do better than that. You're going to have to try harder than that, man. Because you might have to meet Oklahoma again, and you might get sacked 12 more goddamn times versus Oklahoma when they not Choklahoma. When they not Choklahoma, oh yeah, it's gonna be okay. LA, you know what I'm saying? So, and this is not gonna be your day. That's how Oklahoma gonna treat you, boy. So get together, just like I told Willie Taggart and all the rest, get your shit together. Because I'm tired of you Westlake hype jobs. Like I say, that's not Coach Dodge's fault. That's not his fault at all. He's doing what he need to do as a head coach, but get your shit together. Stop embarrassing your coach over at Westlake. Stop embarrassing them like that. You just another hype job. You just another hype job, and it is what it is when it comes to that particular rant.
Yeah, and like I said, Ellinger, and I think that's really, and we have discussed this plenty of times before. And shout out to two guys that we follow, that and he follows us. Uh, Hall of Famer for the Florida Gators, Jacquez Green. He agrees with me. Most of the players, it ain't just quarterbacks, it's everybody.
Yeah,
They don't be in the film room much.
yeah.
And saying like you said, Sam Ellinger, man, it doesn't look like he's in the film room. Now, one thing, and then the same thing that was said about Kyler Murray, he was never in the film room. Now they saying Jalen Hurts, he's in the film room every day,
Yeah.
bar none, period. And like you said, I'm sorry I missed earlier what you were saying about him, but I'm glad Bob Stoops decided to sit his ass on down because Lincoln Riley's doing a damn good job.
Yeah.
And see, and everybody wants Lincoln Riley in the NFL. Lincoln Riley don't want to go in the NFL. Everybody taking his concepts. You ever notice this man? Okay, I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you first example. His first year, and we ain't gonna talk. We gonna talk about Baker Mayfield another time. First year coaching Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield wins national title. Every NFL coach then bought off of Baker Mayfield, Lincoln Riley's offense from that first year. So what Lincoln Riley do? He changed it up again. Kyler Murray, a dude that's known not to study the film room and don't and ain't good on, as what they say, his blackboard acumen that isn't decent, made him a Heisman winner. Lincoln changed up his concepts, changed up his whole offense. NFL coaches balled that. Now I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Jalen Hurts is gonna he gonna win the Heisman.
Oh yeah.
He gonna win the Heisman. And everybody gonna be borrowing some concepts from Lincoln Riley again. And Lincoln gonna have to change the offense for this new little red shirt quarterback that he's gonna have to personally break in. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it to him. I mean, and I think Bob Stoops did the best thing because he took Lincoln Riley away from East Carolina and brought him over there to Oklahoma. And East Carolina's offense ain't been shit since.
Oh yeah. Because that's when your boy Ruffin McNeil had lost his job when Lincoln Riley went to Oklahoma and from McNeil's system, man, East Carolina offense started sucking ass, dude. And I think McNeil was a pretty good head coach. It's just him losing Riley.
His replacement though, Scotty, whatever his name was, he was a young black dude. He ain't know. I don't. If he's still coaching there, bless his heart, cause he don't know what the fuck he doing. Cause I can understand now. I ain't sounding racist, president. Nothing. First thing he did, he brung all black coaches. He put all black. He put all black coaching staff on the team. I'm like, whoa. And
Yeah,
they try. Okay. And then they trying to run some shit that don't. He trying to run the offense that they don't run no more.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Scotty Montgomery. But it was
Mm-hmm.
Scotty Montgomery, so now he the offensive coordinator at the University of Maryland. It was him. So he didn't know what he was doing. So the new East Carolina football coach is Mike Houston. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, when Scotty Montgomery's there, he didn't know what he was doing, dog.
I agree. Totally agree.
And Ruffin McNeil, yeah, that basically sealed when Lincoln Riley dipped. That's still near Ruffin McNeil's fate.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, Ruffin McNeil got fired the very next season. You know what I'm saying? Because he was because Riley was there from 2010 to 2014, and McNeil got fired in 15. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that pretty much sealed his fate because those East Carolinas was couldn't nobody really mess with East Carolina at that particular time under
Hell
Lincoln
no.
Riley, offensive coordinator. And like I say, he's known for changing up his offensive system based on the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like the same offense he's running with Jalen Hurts is he didn't run that with your boy Kyler Murray. The same offense he ran with Kyler Murray, he did not run that uh with your boy Baker Mayfield. So he's changing up with the times. And he's changing up with based on quarterback. And we know somebody who's the current head coach at another school that could possibly win another title again for the second year in a row. You know who I'm talking about, Mr. Sweeney over there at he's taking a lot of that principle that
Woo! Did you
yeah,
see how pissed off he was at everybody? Man.
yeah,
And when what you call interviewed him, he gave her that look with a smile. He's like, I'm not gonna he said, I ain't gonna say what I said on here to them on here. But I basically told him this. They really in a sense of word, you read between the lines. Trevor Lawrence pissed him off, and the whole offense pissed him off in that series. He pointed to the quarterback.
yeah,
Trevor Lawrence, he said that they should have been up by. They should have scored in them opportunities. He was pissed off, and then he was really pissed off with the kicker.
yeah. Because if you can't, you know, like I say, the offense is gonna have its faults. The quarterback's gonna have his fault. And like I say, they've been doing too much hyping with my boy. They've been doing too much hyping with whatchamacallit, with Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback, great high school quarterback coming out of Gainesville High School up in the Atlanta area. So he he he's a good quarterback. It's just ESPN is putting too much pressure on this
And
kid.
he ain't got no receivers.
That's true.
He don't
And
have no
like I
receivers, man. Because I put on Twitter, I said, man, Jacquez Green and another one of his compadres from back in that championship team, Ruddell Anthony. I said, man, Jacquez Green and Ruddell Anthony need to coach these wide receivers on what to do. I said, because these dudes here is garbage.
they some
They are
jelly bean bones.
garbage. Dude, when them man Clemson's wide receivers, they got now they garbage.
They hot garbage, man. They need to do something about that, man.
I'm like,
Like
damn. But I'm gonna put
like I say,
but I'm gonna tell you what the playoff gonna be though. Cause I think Fox Sports One and already spoiled it because Texas is gonna have to end up playing Oklahoma again in the
yeah,
Big 12 championship.
and,
Now
and
you also got to throw in this. Okay, you might as well just gonna put Alabama and Clemson as a lock.
yeah, yeah.
Let
Barring that,
let's draw to the let's draw on some listeners and Jimmy Jsmoove listeners that's out there. Don't fucking sleep on Wisconsin, dog. Because in 2 weeks on Fox Sports One on Friday, they play Ohio State, and more likely they're gonna play them again in the championship. Because if they beat Ohio State in the regular season and in the championship, don't be surprised Wisconsin sneaking there. I'm Man, Wisconsin really got the bet. They lead the nation in points allowed and yards allowed. And they are
oh
the
yeah,
first Big Ten team in years to have four straight games they shut out an opponent.
yeah. And this is with all the Ohio State, all the Michigan teams. Shit. I mean, we're talking about
Woo.
all those teams to come out of the Big Ten. I'm about to say the Big 12. I mean, even Penn State's when their time during Joe Paterno's tenure, they've had some great defenses. We're talking about legendary defenses like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if they shutting people out like that, I mean, and I don't.
Bro, you need to watch your Wisconsin game, man. Because I'm pretty sure you got cable, you got all the Fox Sports and stuff. But man, they put a hurting on Michigan State, dude. Even
Mm,
damn.
yeah,
So I wouldn't lock Ohio State and Oklahoma in the playoffs just yet.
yeah,
But if they do manage to get in, we gonna see Texas against Wisconsin and win in a game or something. But man, whew,
38 to bitch. Not shit, but bitch. Damn. Wisconsin is like, what the hell is going on? I mean, I'm gonna study their defense. To
yes.
yeah, I'm gonna study their defense. 38
And
to
Corey, and shout out again to our guy Corey Wolf. He posts up a Jordan meme with the Florida Gators on it. I knew Florida was gonna lose that game anyway. They don't never play them in the swamp.
they skunked South Florida at home at their house. That's embarrassing. Which is why Charlie on the hot seat. Central Michigan 61 is shit. They embarrassed. They really put Harbaugh on the hot seat. 35-14. They struggle with Northwestern. Oh my goodness. But they managed to win. So a win is a win, like they say. Kent State's 48 to shit. Okay, and they play Illinois. That's another shutout. Ohio, they play Ohio State on the 26th. So that's gonna be very interesting. That's gonna be interesting. We'll see what Justin Fields is made of. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if they can beat Ohio State, they got Iowa. They got Ohio State at the Horseshoe. So yeah, and they play Minnesota. Their arch rival.
Minnesota ain't nothing to play with either, man. PJ Fleck got them. PJ Fleck got them playing pretty good ball.
Yeah, they play their Nebraska's a win. Purdue.
Are they beating Nebraska? Wait a minute. Did Minnesota beat Nebraska tonight?
Yes, they beat the shit out of them. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, they okay. Wisconsin's gonna beat Wisconsin's gonna beat Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I know they know some I don't. Ohio State is a toss-up game. Being they go through hell going to Ohio State. So
And
uh,
I'm pretty sure that Nebraska game gonna be a Saturday night game because they every time they play Nebraska, they be breaking out them old they be breaking out them 1800 uniforms and shit.
yeah.
Them
So
uniform colors.
they play Iowa at home. They should beat Iowa at home. Uh, they play Purdue at home. That should be another shutout. And they
Mm-hmm.
go to in at their little stadium. So they could fuck around and run the table if they go undefeated. Because Ohio State, to me, in my personal opinion, is the one team that they're gonna probably struggle with.
Yeah, because
Uh,
they loaded on both ends of the ball, dude.
yeah, so that's the one team they could still have a one loss team and probably get into the BCS. I mean, not I'm about to say BCS, the college playoff, but it would be better for them to lose in the next week or two than to lose in November. Because November, you could be ranked number one in November, and if you take one loss, that could change the whole game for you. So if Alabama does what they need to do, uh, they don't get surprised by one of these rivalries between because Tennessee's not going to beat Alabama. That's not going to happen. Probably for the next, looking at it, probably for the next 5 years. We probably going that losing streak is going to extend already to its record. They record winning streak over Tennessee in this series, uh, which they've beaten Tennessee at least 10 straight times on a couple of other occasions. So then Tennessee, I don't see Tennessee's not going to win. Unless the Tennessee staff knows something I don't. They're not going to beat them. I damn sure don't see Auburn winning. Have they played LS Pepe Le Pew yet?
Talking about Bama?
Yeah.
Not yet. I think that'll be on the 26th because we got Tennessee next.
And as much as I hate Ed Orgeron, that's probably their most dangerous game. I'm gonna go on record and say this. I still think Alabama probably win, but out of all the games they have, because Auburn is not going to be not with this squad.
No.
Probably your boy Malzahn is probably finna lose his job. So you
Ain't
just
none of my boy. Shit.
I'm speaking of Auburn fans. I'm not talking about Malzahn's probably finna lose their job. So just get ready to pack, get your bags ready. Just get your bags ready, Malzahn, because you probably finna lose your job after you're gonna take an ass whooping against Alabama. I don't give a fuck if it's in Auburn or Tuscaloosa or Birmingham. I don't give a fuck if it's in goddamn Montgomery. You probably gonna lose to Alabama this year. So the closest team that Alabama is gonna probably struggle with. I don't see Mississippi State if they ain't already played them yet. State ain't gonna beat them.
No,
You know,
not yet.
no, they're not gonna beat them for another probably. I'll say 3. I'll give them 3. They might get some in there, but I don't see it. So Alabama's finna pretty much be in the college playoff. But I think even if Alabama loses, they're gonna try to crowbar the SEC in there, and mainly because SEC fans generate revenue.
True.
Even if Alabama loses and Georgia ends up in the SEC championship, I think the SEC champion, whether it's Alabama, Georgia, Florida got their ass whooped tonight against LS Pepe Le Pew.
Well, that was expected.
Well, that's expected because he's recruiting well. So
But he
he's
gonna
one.
have to really recruit because Joe Burrow, he got this his last year. So he gonna have to get somebody to. And from what I found
And,
out, the reason, and from here's another thing, the reason why I found out why LSU's offense is looks as good now, they
mm-hmm,
hired a guy from Sean Payton's staff to help them out with that shit.
mm-hmm, yeah,
So, dude, so I think he still, yeah, they hired somebody from Sean Payton's coaching staff to help the offensive coordinator out with that shit, man, for real. And you
yeah.
basically told him you need a quarterback to make this offense work. So hopefully they can went out and get them a hot shot quarterback. And let me say this here, I don't want to see no look. I want black quarterbacks to succeed in the NFL. For look or NCAA. I don't want Ed Orgeron to recruit a black quarterback that's lazy as fuck, that don't want to study film and is more run first and a throw when he get ready, like another Kelly Bryant or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a young black quarterback that had the arm, that got the arm, that has the arm and the running ability like a Michael Vick, and the cannon arm and the running ability of a Warren Moon. I want to see that.
Yeah, and I think
I don't see no old lazy. I don't see no old lazy ass privileged hood hood fucks that swear they can play football and don't.
and we're starting to see that more and more often. And I'm glad Warren Moon is still having his football camp because even though I have some type of feelings about Warren Moon, he
Yeah,
is scoring a lot of because of what he said about Kaepernick. That's mainly what I'm pissed off at him about more than anything. Everything else, he's done what he needed to do because when Steve McNair was living, he would go down. He would help Steve McNair with the kids out at the Southern Miss University. And then, I think he still runs it at Southern Miss, but he also has a camp in Seattle. And I think he has one out here in Houston too. I could be wrong as well on that. But I know he still has that camp. And he really mentors the black quarterbacks, especially that post that you put on the sports talk group. He is guiding those guys. So even though he made some whole ass comments about Kaepernick, I will give him credit in terms of still trying to get those guys to read defenses and how to pick up the blitz and how to he's really talking to those dudes. He's really showing those guys how to carry themselves and shit like that. Because like I say, Warren Moon experienced some shit. He heard some shit that probably I'm not saying young guys don't hear that today, but I highly doubt it went to that goddamn extreme. when he had one comment, he was like, when I was the quarterback at Houston, you know, you better throw that ball like you throw that watermelon.
Yeah,
I don't think people. I
yeah.
think
The fans, and he turned around, he looked at him like, "What the fuck?"
yeah. So he paved the way for guys like Doug Williams. Even though Doug Williams played before him in the NFL,
Hmm.
it was him being able to play that really got Doug Williams to return to the NFL from the USFL. You know what I'm saying? Because Doug Williams went through some shit too. Now he can tell you some stories too. But I mean Warren Moon went through it, and I say went through it for a reason. And he even talked about how he slowed his 40 time down because he was like a 4.40 guy, and he didn't want to show how fast he really was because Warren Moon at Washington, he was mobile. He was
Yeah.
mobile. You look at some old studies against that Michigan University of Michigan game. He looked a lot like fucking. He looked very close to Randall Cunningham at uh at uh at the fucking Philadelphia. Not the Randall Cunningham at UNLV because the one at UNLV he didn't have to stay. He didn't have to run as much. But the one at the Eagles, yeah, he looked a lot. That's what Warren Moon looked a lot like. And then he said he intentionally ran his shit slow so he can become a quarterback. And because they were making black quarterbacks become wide receivers in the NFL,
Hmm.
NFL. And then once you got to the NFL, then a lot of them had terrible offensive lines. That was just lazy ass offensive linemen and stuff like that. So it was a lot of things that went on. So I give Warren Moon a lot of credit for bringing these new influx of quarterbacks. Being able to read defenses because guys like I'm about to say Russell Westbrook, Russell Wilson,
Man. Hmm.
Cam. I was about to say that, but I wasn't gonna say Westbrook,
Yeah,
but I was
Russell
about to
Resthaven.
rest Haven. And he balling out too, but we'll talk about him on another time. Guys
Hmm.
like Wilson, a lot of the current black quarterbacks in here now, the ones that's really balling, they went to that camp with McNair. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Warren Moon. You know what I'm saying? So don't become Warren Coon now, goddamn it, because I will put you on that train and I will give you a butter biscuit with honey. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that comment he had about Kaepernick, I wasn't feeling. But other than that, I will give him credit for at least guiding those guys because those guys definitely need guidance, regardless of whether I'm watching the NFL or not. You need somebody in there that has been the representative of the NFL to guide those guys, regardless if I'm watching me and Craig or Corey is watching the NFL because I still haven't watched that shit for the most part. Like I say, I'm limited it to only two teams.
I
Uh,
watched Dallas. I watched Green Bay play. Now I'm gonna be interested, and God rest his soul. I'm gonna watch Green Bay play the Chiefs because after they get through with the Lions, because I can hear my late pops now. Yeah, them Chiefs gonna put it to them Packers like they always do. Don't care where it is. If it's gonna be in Green Bay and Kansas City, they gonna put it to them.
yeah, so yeah, and I'm gonna go watch Gemini Man tomorrow. Uh, so I'm definitely probably ain't gonna maybe catch the highlights of that game, but other than that, I'm probably gonna be at the movie theaters. I'm gonna try to go early myself. But
Oh,
needless to
okay.
say, shout out to Warren Moon for mentoring those young guys in how to conduct themselves as quarterbacks, you know, of the NFL. So it is what it is when it comes to that.
Yep. Uh, on an editor's note, we'll probably talk about the Jimmy's thoughts on the baseball stuff another time due to time constraints. But we got a couple of fan questions. I have to revisit one from Tasha, who I used to work at. So I'm gonna say that one best for last because she asked me about a coworker I used to work with, and I felt I slighted her on that. So I'm gonna get a full story. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this one comes from. I get this right. This one comes from Tanaya from Memphis, and the title of it is Rest Haven. She said, "What's up, Craig? She said, I got a good kickoff of the last. She said, I don't know whether if it was Jimmy J, if it was your show or on Jimmy J's show, but Craig, you had me rolling when you did the Russell, when you did Pretty Tony from the Mac in the guy as Russell Resthaven in regards to, well, basically, long story short, what she said how Russell Westbrook was with Kevin Durant. Could you please just do it one more time for me?
All right.
Hold on.
Does everyone need an audition to get with you? Sounds in my head.
Here you go.
Hey, how you doing? Remember me? I'd have to lose all the brain cells in my head before I forget something as fine as you. Does everyone need an audition to get with you? You ain't gotta go through all that shit. Then I choose you.
Kevin Durant telling Steph Curry at the time who he choose. And here come Russell Resthaven
Be cool, baby.
afterwards.
Hey, bitch, come here. Got your motherfucking man, come here. Mr. Pretty Tony.
Actually, Mr. Russell Resthaven,
I mean, you know the rules of the game. I mean, your bitch
Kevin Durant just chose me.
Now we can settle this like you got some class, so we can get into some gangster shit. You shade tree nigga. You ain't no pimp. You're rest haven for hoes. You're a car thief. The one you
Actuality, you're free. You chasing rings. Rings.
got out there is probably hot as a firecracker right now. It was $35,000. $35,000 cash money? No, I give $35,000 plus one, right? The one I gave. No, you gave me six, all right? That was one. I had one. It was six, and 35,000 plus one plus six leaves seven. $35,000 and seven, right? Motherfucker, can you find that?
And here Paul George here Paul George at the time laughing at Russell Westbrook.
Nigga, next time you hear grown folks talking, shut the fuck up, here.
All right, there you go. So we sorry we couldn't get that. But that had to be the most memorable thing I did. I don't know whose show it was. That really was some funny ass shit. You ain't no pimp. You arrest him for rings. You chasing rings. Rings. That one you probably chasing probably hot as a firecracker right now.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right, Jimmy, I gotta revisit this. I had to pull it up. I stay in contact with most of the time with this young lady I used to work with out at I used to work with at our old place of employment, FedEx. Young lady's named Tasha. And she had asked me about a question about I had, used to have I have some good things and bad things to say about some people. And you know me. Um she asked me one time about this question about this rampage that we all used to work with by the name of Zach. Zach Cook.
Mhm.
Because I work with two Zachs. So I'm talking about the former. The latter, he's all right with me. He got his own yard cutting and landscaping business now. So props to him on that one. But the latter, uh, I found out several weeks ago he's back in Memphis after having several cups of coffee, after having a nice little cup of coffee down there in Florida. Him and his wife moved back up here to Memphis. So I mean, hell, I wouldn't mind living in. Sometime I wouldn't mind living in Florida, and other times I wouldn't, cause shit. I would. Then again, I wouldn't mind. But then again, I would mind, cause they have all these damn storms and shit. You know,
Right, right.
that's understandable. But to my understanding, he came back. So Marette bring up the question, and it came from Tasha. Said, "Hey, Craig," she said, "I remember when you first came over to International, and I work with you. You work with the Rampages on Flight 55 Miami. What I wanted to know was how was your relationship with the other Rampage by the name of Zach? I understand you two did not see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, and could you clarify on some things? I recall asking him one time what was his issue with you, and he would never tell me, but he would in short and saying it too fast. Sorry, y'all. But in his own usual way, he would stay throwing the rock and hiding his hand. Could you please clarify that relation? Could you please clarify what was it like working with him? And then this is also another part that I neglected to answer on that time too, because I remember this question because Jimmy, we both was hanging on strings as far as sleep go on that one. Okay, so she said, P.S. said if you were back at FedEx, hypothetically, would you work with him, and realistically, would you still work with him? So I'm gonna feel I have to revisit this question. First and foremost, I think I don't know how Zach is now. He has yet to join the 40 club. He'll be 40 next year, I believe. Uh, what I thought about him working with him back then, I thought he was pretty, he was pretty okay, but he knew better on a lot of things. Well, he should have known better on a lot of things as far as how he carried himself as a leader. He really didn't want to lead. When you're in a position of leadership, and Jimmy and I had stressed it, we stressed this on episode 2 back 2 years ago on Let's Draw on Something, and even on his show. When you're in a position of leadership, you have to show the initiative of being a good leader as far as your communication skills, how you carry yourself. Because how you carry yourself as a leader at the job, it also shows how you carry yourself as a person away from the job. At that time I worked with Zach, Zach didn't show none of that. Uh, Working with him and Jimmy, I don't know if you've read the stories about these two. I compare my work relationship with Zach back then as to how Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels was back then. Okay, even though it was fake, but behind backstage it was real. But with them too, you know, it was real. But I'm explaining. But let me go ahead and get. I'm not going to explain. Let me go ahead and get the reason why I say that. I was more like the Bret. I was more like the Bret Hart. Okay, I'm gonna say what's on my mind. I'm gonna stand on my own 2 feet on as far as defending myself, and I'm not gonna let anybody talk crazy to me. You know,
Exactly.
don't whatever. You know, Shawn Michaels the same thing. Oh, and by the way, those two gentlemen, both Hall of Famers. They're both cancers. So they're born in July. They're both cancers. So and Zach's one as well, and I'm a Libra.
Mhm.
Put me in. Probably he'll be if he hears this, and I'm sharing it to a buddy he is, and probably like, okay, what's the point behind that? I'm gonna tell you the point is this: we're more Libras are more visceral and political than a Cancer. No offense, Jimmy. We're more cerebral and visceral, and we know how to cut political strings and political tongues in the making quicker than it from a Cancer than anything, or from anybody. But back to that. When I worked with Zach 15 years ago, I worked with him from 2004 to 2000. I think he left for Dayside in 2007. Okay. And he had to leave in 2007 because, yeah, more money, it's full time opportunity. And plus, he had just gotten married the year before that because he'd been with his high school sweetheart. He'd been with his high school sweetheart. And he graduated from a rival Southside, Wooddale.
Mhm.
And Southside stayed kicking Wooddale's ass, basketball and football. Um, and he married his high school sweetheart. So they've been together probably. I was to say they've been married for 13. They've been together, and they were boyfriend and girlfriend for like I was gonna say about for 3 or 4 years. So let's just gonna say about between 18 years tops they've been together total. Uh, and to my understanding, he had to move back because, well, a lot of people didn't know Zach would confide to my pops on a lot of stuff, on some things. Okay. Uh, he moved to Dayside because somebody was trying to break in on his wife one time. Okay. But from my understanding, I think she had her shit too. So she was ready for anything. And that is a good plausible reason. I can understand what another reason is for it. But let's go to the revision of this. Zach and I, we sometimes, great guy, but he couldn't. His leadership skills were very lacking. I wouldn't trust him to lead. You couldn't get him to lead a fly to shit if you paid him to at the time. Okay. Um, Sometimes, like I said, he knew better about some things, and there's no saying about there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place for everything to say or to do something. And sometimes Zach, now, as far as him, now there was alleged rumors that Zach was a racist. I never saw that because he treated people equally, no matter what color you were. That I will give him. This was later in life when I last saw him. This was later on down the road when I last saw him. And working with him, I did see that a little bit. He didn't, because if he was racist towards somebody, I would have knew about it. He would have got it from me. Let's put it that way. I didn't see none of that from him. So I can debunk that rumor because hell, he went to fucking Wooddale, and which was mixed with black and white. So come on.
But let me that don't mean shit because a motherfucker can go to
But
school
that don't
with
mean shit.
they can go to school with all black people and they still be racist as hell. And like I say,
Yeah, but I
time
ain't saying he
time,
is.
yeah. I get that conjecture, but like I said, let's be clear. He probably
Mm-hmm.
is, but I'm not saying that I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying the other person is wrong. But I'm saying we got to understand it from a psychological and a systematic standpoint. But
Right.
please continue.
But
And I'm
yeah,
gonna
but
give
like I
you
said,
matter of fact, one
huh?
more thing. Or I'm gonna actually go have a podcast on that in particular because it's a lot of confusion what people know about racism and what racism and racist. So I'm gonna do a podcast in particular because I want to address that in particular. But please continue, sir.
Yeah, like I said, I never saw that in him because
Mhm.
he wasn't, he didn't do that with none of his peers of our color. Okay.
Yeah,
Or to delicately put it, as Ron Simmons once said about one of his old bosses, I never seen it with the hood on. Put it like that. So I'm not so to me,
understand.
Zach, he's not a racist or prejudiced person.
Gotcha.
Okay. But at the time I was working with Tasha and everybody on Let's Draw on Something. He was a good guy, but at times, like I said, Zach, his leadership skills, he couldn't lead a fly to shit, let alone couldn't lead a pack of ants to a sugar hill if you paid him to do so. His communication skills was very lacking. He communicated with who he wanted to communicate with. Like he was his communication skills with me were very sporadic. Uh, like depending on his mood, and the dude, and he was moody. Okay. Um, I don't think I would think we didn't have we. I would say we did have something to come, but then again, we probably did or didn't. Um, from what I remember when my pops telling me about what was going on, and Zach would always like to wrap himself in enigma sometimes till I found out the dirt myself. He didn't say I don't know what his mother did or whatever, but his father's a missionary. Okay, he did missionary work, third world countries. So that's another way of saying that when your father's a missionary, he preaches the word to the countries and stuff like that. So in other words, Zach is a preacher's kid. He's a PK. To me, if when your father does missionary, that's also code for saying he's a preacher, and
Yeah.
he's a preacher's kid. So Zach is Zach's a preacher's kid, and you know what they say about them PKs.
Yep.
And we ain't, and that's another subject here there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he had any brothers or sisters. I can presume, not assume, but presume that he's the only child. Me, I'm the only child because my mother, she's visually impaired. She's blind, and I'm the son of a Vietnam veteran. All right, and of course, I'm a vet myself. I never fought in the war, but I'm still considered a vet for my time in the service. I served 6 years in the National Guard, and I've been a veteran coming up November for 16 years now. So, that I have that advantage on him. Uh Working with him sometime, like I said, it was tiff and tat. And he like I said, he was always moody. He sometime I mean, we and there was one point, man, and he can vouch for this. There was one point where he and I we just couldn't stand to be around each other because I didn't do things his way. And then there was one time he was trying to get my ass off tug. One time I said, "Oh, so you're in the business where you want to fuck me out my money, right? You really want to do that? Well, you don't need to be on no tug no more." And I told him, I said, "Hell, you don't need to be on rampage no more. That's not your call to make." So shout out to my guy David Snipes and another rampage, and I think she's out in Cali. She's on the West Coast now. A chick named Tracy. They even told him. They said, "Man, you ain't in no position to make no call on that, you know, or whatever." So he was outvoted 2-1 on it. And also the former David, and I told you about him. We patched that little grudge up. He confirmed the story about the time when Zach went in there and told him, said CJ gonna fuck, said I'm gonna fuck around and kick CJ's ass. And David told me he thought Zach was playing, but Zach was serious. And David told him, he laughed. He told him, he's like, okay, because Zach thought he was laughing like he agreed. He said, "No, I'm not laughing because I agree." He said, "I'm laughing because when CJ get done, you make sure you come back in the weight shack so I can see what happened." That was David's way of and David wasn't the only one that told him. David B wasn't the only one that told Zach this. Pops told him the same fucking thing. And another guy by the name of Kevin Askew, shout out to him. And because told him, and I remember we was all riding the car, and Kevin was telling me and Pops about it. He says, "Yeah, Zach talking about he gonna kick your ass, gonna kick your ass." Talking about, I said, "You don't care, he don't care if he was in the military and all this other shit." And Kevin told Zach, he said, "Man, CJ will fuck you up, dude. He ain't gonna try to kill you. He gonna find a way to hurt you to get your point. Now, if he really want to get his point across, he gonna go to he ain't gonna go to that level if you push him." He said, "But if he want to send a message to you, he gonna fucking hurt you." Yeah, because I wasn't gonna fuck. I'm admit I wasn't gonna fuck Zach up that bad. Because that collarbone pretty open. Because all you gotta do, you just cuff that collarbone. If you get my drift.
Yeah.
Studied
Yeah. Yeah.
the pressure points. But you know what I'm talking about. You study martial arts. I was taught
Yeah.
Krav Maga in the military. So yeah, collarbone. Cuff that jack that collarbone up. I'm not gonna tell you how. I'm not gonna share that
Yeah.
secret how y'all can do it. There's several ways y'all can do it. But I'm gonna continue. Sometimes working with him was okay, but then other times, like I said, he can be very moody. The old Zach back then, he was very motherfucking moody. He is just like he didn't feel the need to speak to you like whatever was on his mind. Cause like I said something to him one time, like, "Hey Zach, what's going on? I ain't got time for that. Right? I ain't got time to speak on that right now. I just going." I said, "Whoa!" I said, "So you ain't got time to nope." And he was not known to look at somebody in the eye. And then till when I got off the tug, and there was one point in time, and there was one time he was talking real bad about me, and I got up into his face and said, "Dude, no, it wasn't." Yeah, he was talking bad about me. He was throwing a shot at me. Him and partner my pops named Ronnie. They want to throw shots at me in a meeting. He said this shit. We understand we all grown. He said, but when it comes to his job, he said, your main thing you need to worry about is making money. We all came here to make money. You ain't come here to make friends. You're not back in high school. And then he threw a shot, and he told on himself when he said, and you're not around your camaraderie from your service camaraderie. Jimmy, I gave that man a
Yeah.
look like, and everybody knew he was talking about. Even the manager was kind of like, manager kind of gave, he kind of looked off the side, he kind of brushed his hair, his side of his head like, uh-uh. And I remember Pops was looking dead at me too. Pops was looking at me, and I was looking right dead in front of Zach. I was looking dead at Zach all fucking through that meeting. Didn't take my eye off of him. So when everybody got through the meeting, you want to know who want to call themselves trying to stay back behind and want to talk shit? He did. So I told him, I said, no, I said, hey, you ain't got to sit up here talking shit. Come on out, because I knew who you was talking about. So when he came on out, he didn't want to confront me on a lot of things, and he really firmly believed in once you throw the rock, you can hide your hand anytime you want to. But here's a spin of that: when you throw the rock and hide your hand, and when the person fighting and the person see your hand, they can put a knife through your hand.
Yeah.
You know, I know you probably understand that. You was like, yeah, like, like,
Yeah.
okay, but like I said, Zach, he didn't know no better. And there were times, man. I mean, like he got into it, and then there was one time the man, and he was very, and he had lost a whole lot of respect for me, not just professional respect. He lost respect for me as a man, totally. He told Pops one day I had pulled up, and I thought they was just talking about something that you know that was going on with the flight. So I stayed out of it because I know to go talk with other people. When my name got mentioned, the Zach did the one thing that you are not supposed to do. And if you all are listening, if you're in any position of leadership, and if you got a problem with somebody, you go to that person like a man or a woman and tell them your grievances. You do not go to their brother, their sister, their mom, or their dad that work with. That was
Yeah.
one thing he did where he fucked up with me, and he talked all that shit to me, to my pops, right in front of me, and he did, and I believe he did it deliberately. And I walked up to him. I'm like, oh, I'm like, so okay, so we talking all this cash money, one cash money thing back then. So I was like, so you talking all this shit about me to my pops after the man told you to tell everything to me after I pulled up, and you saw when I pulled up. I said, so you gonna disrespect me like that? He could say nothing, but he still was proceeding to talk to Pops. I said, okay, bet. I was like, okay, bet. So I had left. And I think Pops was riding with me at the time. I don't know. I said, Pop, I'm gonna be gone for a minute. Man, Zach, hey, he had made me hot as a motherfucker, man, because he and on that day, and I think Pops told him that day when we went home, he said, and because we didn't say nothing, Pops and I, we didn't say nothing to each other in the car for about like 10 minutes till we got to on Norris Road. Because I was still living with my I was still living with my folks at the time. And he was like, he said, yeah, and we didn't say nothing about it. And he said, yeah, I told Zach, he said, you better be lucky CJ walked away from you. He said, because CJ would have lost his job today. Because he was getting ready to fuck you up. And I was that day. So, and again, you know, younger Zach was known to pull some bitch moves. He pulled some bitch shit. He would pull he would just pull some straight bitch shit. Like he didn't want to speak to dude didn't want to speak to me for almost like a fucking week and a half. Nothing. And then all leading to the following year, he really didn't want to talk to my ass. So how I paid him back for that? Uh, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. All right. So how I paid him back for that? I didn't say nothing to him or anything, because we had to fuck. The only time he said something to me asked me was I working Thanksgiving? Just back in 2004. So I was like, and in my mind, it's like, motherfucker, you ain't said shit to me all this time. Now all of a sudden you want to say something to me. So I'm like, okay. I said, yeah. He ain't said didn't say shit to me for a week and a half after that incident.
That was very disrespectful.
So no, this is before. No, matter of fact, yeah, because he did ask me did I want to work Thanksgiving that time. So I told him, I said I might as well. Shit, I said I'm normally chilling at home drinking a beer on Thanksgiving. He said, "Well, CJ, I ain't asked y'all that." I said, "Well, I said I just told you, yeah." Then he had a pinch for wanting to get smart, talk bad about somebody again. So I took my frustration and I and a lot of people didn't know I was. And Zach knew I knew how to draw. Okay, so what I did, I drew a turkey.
Mm-hmm.
On a piece of paper, I drew a turkey, big ass turkey, and the turkey eyes got big to like your cut, like you color your pupils and stuff. And I drew the pupils kind of like eyes bulging out and everything. And then I drew a picture of and I had a picture of Zach's head and the ass of the turkey. And I made copies of it and I put it like on a slide, and then I put it on the and then I put some in the waist shack. And everybody busts out laughing. So so I think one of them looked up. Somebody looked up on the slide, was looked up. They said, "Hey, I think somebody meant." I said, "I think somebody drew this and it has been meant to you." He was pissed off about it, so he asked Pops. He said, "Who the fuck drew this shit?" And Pops looked at him. He said, "Well, who the only person on the slide to know how to draw real good?" He's like, "All right." It was a picture of a turkey. And I said something on there. I said, "Be careful the turkeys you associate with today." He said, "Because they're gonna show you what they really are tomorrow." I said, "Speaking of jive turkeys," I said, "Here's one. Here's one is in the head." It was something. It was something I said on there because I had Zach's head buried in the ass of a turkey. You know, so I remember that.
You lifetime ain't shit for that, but continue.
You said what now?
You lifetime ain't shit for that.
So so he was pissed off about that shit. He was pissed off about it for a minute. I said, so he went in the waist shack, and I think all the other rampages was bust out laughing, and they showed it to him. Even the manager at the time got a kick out of it. They said, "Damn." So I got his ass back. So, and again, it was payback. It was payback for the. My thing is this: I was raised by the golden rule. You know, you treat others the way you like to be treated. You know, if you treat me with respect, I'll treat you respect. But if I treat you respect and you treat me with disrespect and contempt, guess what? I'm gonna treat you the same way till you get to put till you learn how to respect me.
Oh yeah.
So he got that. That was one lesson that he got from me. So then he decided, I guess for a good minute, he decided not to, sporadically not to say shit to me for a while and stuff like that, this and that, yada yada. Again, like I said, our work relationship was like the equivalent of Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. Whereas Zach was HBK, I was Bret Hart. Okay, I meant, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Excuse me. He would make it his business not to talk to my ass again. Now, let's fast forward to months later after that, because '05, he was really on his bitch period. Zach also, I guess he wasn't negligent of his. He was very negligent of his health because dude drunk more damn Dr. Okay, he went to the hospital because his kidneys was damn near failing. And come to find out, and I
Oh
think
yeah.
I told the story before, and I told the story to you on your show. I didn't find out about he was in the hospital until about like 2 days later, because he wanted to
Yeah.
have he wanted to have a select few people want to know about everything and shit like that. And I didn't find out from another driver, Tanya. She's like, "You heard about Zach?" I'm like, "No, what happened?" I said, what he got fired?" She's like, "No, he got." Said, "No, he's in the hospital." I was like, "Whoa, for real?" Said, "Yeah." Said his kidney shut down on him. Said drinking all them damn Dr. Pepper. Said he want to make fun of you about you drinking cranberry juice and having flaming hots and a bottle of water. You know? I said, "Damn." Because so his kidneys, I think, was like at 80, had failed on him for 80%. He had lost 80% function of his kidneys. He had to get his function back to his kidneys, dude. So he got back. A lot of them they didn't want me to know he had. I guess some people trying to keep me out of the way shack, to avoid it. So, I made it my business. I went in there and spoke to him. And, I went in there and spoke to him and stuff like that. So, man, you all right? Shook his hand and everything. He said, "Yeah, I'm doing good." I was okay, that's cool. Yo, and I noticed, it took that lesson from him to kind of teach Zach a lesson. He humbled Zach a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
He humbled. He Zach got humbled he got his ass humbled big time by that. And then that stuff we would talk about, man. Normally he would talk about shit. He started. We started talking more a little bit now and stuff like that. And then he would laugh. He got him and a couple other guys got to laugh at my jokes and stuff like that. Whereas they didn't get a good laugh on on most of them. Like he got a laugh about my pussy about the pussy face joke. I told a story about this dude that said there was a man that had a wooden eye, and this is the joke I told. Said there was a man that had a wooden eye, and he said the problem was, and said he would always get him a nice girlfriend and everything to do was a nice looking guy. Said, but the reason why he couldn't keep no woman said because they would always make references to his wooden eye. So he meet this one woman, beautiful as hell, physically everything, pretty face, but she had one problem. She had like cleft in the lip, but her lip wasn't the way it was supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
So instead of it being that straight with default, it was in the other way, in the cleft, like down the center. So they got to talking and everything, despite their physical handicaps, and said they fell in love. Just imagine that two people with physical handicaps falling in love. So the guy with the wooden eye, he was like, I take her out as I'm gonna ask her to go ahead and marry me. So they were talking. He said, "Well, got talking and everything." So he just went. So Dude popped out the question, said, "Baby," he got on one knee and said, "Baby, would you marry me?" She said, "Oh, wouldn't I?" He turned around, called her, and said, "Pussy face."
Damn. That's a good one.
Yeah, because they didn't get one of them dudes. They get it at first. I'm like, oh shit. Damn, just said the lip was like cleft instead of it going this way. Oh, damn. So he bust that level, and so we started talking a little bit more, but now, but back to that, but to deduce it though, back then when I first started working with him, I mean, it was rocky. Like I said, he didn't like me at first, and I didn't like him. We didn't have no things in common and stuff like that. 'Cause, like he took pot shots at me, and he crossed some lines with me a little bit. Like crossed the line to want to attack my military career and stuff like that, and my personal life wise and whatever. Because like I remember one shot he made me talking about some. Every time I talking about CJ, he said every time I just say reason why you can't never get no damn work done. You always got a girl all up in your face all the time. I said, Zach, you just pissed off because I can do what your ass can't do.
Oh, I caught that drift.
He called it too. Everybody caught that. And it was like, what the fuck? And then they said, yeah, he said, CJ single. See, he could talk to any girl he want to. You tied down to one.
You ain't shit for that. Man, you caught that motherfucker quick.
I called him. He couldn't say shit, bro. He tried to attack back. He was like, no, I ain't gonna say no. I said, yeah, you better not. I said, because I got a lot of comebacks. Come on with it. And he could pass. You remember the group House of Pain, the rap group House of Pain?
Yeah.
He could pass for he's a dead ringer for the lead singer Everlast, the lead rapper Everlast. He is the younger version of Everlast. But Everlast now today, I think he put on a little weight. He just said he had a few heart attacks and shit.
Uh-huh.
And because I saw him on the interview with the Breakfast Club, he said, "Hell, even when I'm eating right, he said I just had a heart attack." I was like, "What the fuck?" So, and he can pass for Everlast. That I can say that. But and he took that as a compliment because he said everybody told him that. But back then, yeah, it was rocky and stuff like that, and I would say that he wasn't one of the guys, but what I mean by that is he never hung out with some of his coworkers. He hung out with his select friends that he had. That was the difference between me and him. I hung out. Sometimes I hung out by myself out in public or whatever. Or if I had as Dusty Rose say, a lady of the evening, cocktails and entertainment, if you will. That was more my style. And sometimes now later in life I do hang. I try my best to hang out with some of my friends now. You know, but to me, being one of the guys, I would say one of the boys is like, hey man, let's go to the rack over here on Lamar and get a beer or something and shoot pool after work
Yeah.
and get all this shit like that. That's what I mean by that. I mean, I did that like every other Friday. You know, not most of the guys they'll do it every other day, but every Friday, which if you was working night shift, you got off on Friday and lay it to Saturday or whatever. I did that every other Friday. So that's what I meant by that. But now, as far as if I was there now, with him being back, hypothetically, if I would have worked with him again, maybe. Realistically, it's the same answer.
For sure.
And another thing that really that really kind of that really made that really I just say Zach hurt me in any kind of way. He kind of hurt himself with this, whereas most everybody else does. Zach let his position and his paycheck put flaws in his character.
There you go. There you go.
And that's the
It
truth.
happens.
I mean,
Yeah.
at the time, and that's the truth. And then, like when I last saw him when he was working Mega Hub, a lot of the folks they were saying, Zach, he real cool. I said, but everybody tell me said, but you gotta watch him. I said, oh hell yeah, you really gotta watch his ass. He still do some slick shit every now and then. I said, you just gotta stay a step ahead of him.
Yeah.
You know. So, but with him being a rep agent, I never seen him pick up a checker. I never only thing he did write down can numbers and get on the tug. That was it.
Yeah, man.
Now I've seen that and Jimmy during my time when slide need when the slide was backed up and flying some stuff the cans need to go to the plane. I've seen some rampages in the mega hub pick up that checker and hey, I'ma scan this man. You throw this on here, load it up quick as you can, whatever. I've seen some do that. I never saw him do it. Now I can say he beat. Now when it came to that, I can say he did get a little bit. I can say he was lazy in that department because I don't know if he earned his stripes,
Uh-huh.
so to speak, or let alone if he crawled before he walked. Because I think he said he got the job. He started working at FedEx after he graduated high school in '98. Because he said he graduated Wooddale in '98. So yeah, he probably put that application in before his 18th birthday and then messed around and got hired on his 18th birthday. So if he was lucky like they did me at UPS years ago, when I put my application in, when I put my what was that? I put my application in by I think like in June or July '96, and they held on to that shit till October. I'm like, whoa, okay, you know, they held it for 90 days. So that's why I say it was between July and August. I gotta say between July and August for me of '96 when they did that for me with UPS. Cause I wasn't the only one that was coming up there putting in an application before I was 18. They were like, damn, you must have graduated. You must start school early. Yeah, I did. So, but I ain't got nothing but but on a personal level, I mean, now I ain't got nothing bad. I don't have nothing bad to say about him. About old Zachary T. Thomas. Uh if that's his middle name. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him now. Now back then, I just came on out with it right here about it, because I answered revised the question opposed to how it was back then and what I do things now. I can say I understand, him and his wife, they moved back. Understand his wife, she's having her little issues. Not gonna get neither here or there because for what I found out. And he kind of told on himself about that when I was going to Remington. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'll tell you about that off air. Uh,
Yeah.
but on on a personal level, I mean, here we were in our 20s. We did have some little things in common. He liked the football and basketball. Hey, he liked to drink. But see, he doesn't know. But I like to drink. I like the football and basketball too. But the noble difference about me was, hey, I was in the service. And another thing I can say, I don't think he had anything to fall back on after FedEx like I do. When you work in a job like that or anything, you got to have something to fall. You have to have something to fall back on.
Yeah. Most
And
definitely.
that's real talk. Because I got plans myself too. Because I'm thinking about somewhere down the road, somewhere next year. I probably, I'm gonna go back to school again as far as my art, as far as my art goes. See how
Okay.
things turn out. Now I did get it accomplished. I did get it accomplished. Like that. And then that was and speaking of school, I remember one instance. He tried to rub some shit in my face about that I kicked out. That I got kicked out of. Talking about, well, yeah, I heard you flunked out of your school in Remington. I said, no, I didn't get flunked. I didn't flunk out. I got kicked out. So, because I'm talking about some, I said, well, what's your excuse? Hey, I did have something to fall back on. What you got to fall back on?
Yeah.
Because I equate, and I was telling my boy Murph, because we will be on live here for 3 hours. I was telling my boy Murph, man, I can equate FedEx is nothing but the Memphis version of WWE. And I say that because of this. When everybody leaving WWE to pursue this and that, then when the money run out, what they do? They come right back to WWE and get that money because that's all they know. That's how it is at FedEx, and that's how it is at FedEx. When you leave, things don't go your way the way it is and stuff like that. Everybody come running back at FedEx because most of them don't have shit to fall back on. Then when you do have something to fall back on, and you succeed or whatever, uh, everybody want to be up in your face then, you know. But yeah, but now, like I said, again, I'll be 41 since this is Sunday. I'll be 41 tomorrow. And, and good old Zach, he 39. He'll be hitting the 40 club next year. So, um, when you get older and you look back at things, man, you kind of be like, wow, they were really like that towards me. They were really like that towards me, and and vice versa. And sometimes he probably was saying, "Well, damn, I didn't know well, damn, I didn't know I was like that toward CJ and all this and that or whatever. This and here and there go with Craig and such here and there." So, you know, so I don't, I don't have nothing against it now. Back then, during that little stint for that year from '04 to '05 before he had that come to Jesus by the man, that come to Jesus meeting with from the man himself, uh in '06, from '04 to '05. He was really bad, but in '06, he was sporadic, but he was getting a little bit better. And like I said, he got humbled like a motherfucker from that. He learned the lesson. We all get humbled by something, you know. So, but like I said, but look, looking back at it now, there was some lessons involved in it. He gets humbled from his kidney experience. I got humbled from a painkiller overdose. I didn't have to go to the hospital, but I fucked around and miscalculated because I still had a issue with my wisdom teeth and stuff like that, and I took the strongest. I had They gave me the mid-level strongest oxycontins. I forgot what it was. And instead of me taking one, I knew I shook one out the bottle. I fucked around, didn't know it shook two and swallowed down. And dude, you talking about somebody that was on like a fucking trip. I was like, God damn. And I laid down, man. My body started flaring up. It was all feeling cool and stuff like that. And I'm like, golly, dude. And yeah. And and
All
and my
right.
dumb ass, I still took my dumb ass to work, performed my fucking job well. And and around about in 2006 at that time, man, I had my personal issues, you know. So that's gonna be another story on one of your podcasts too.
Okay.
So, but but other than that, man, I said, He's a great guy. Back then he wasn't so great because he hope he's not letting his position or his paycheck keep flawing his character. I hope he's not doing that now. He's back to being a rampage, but back then he was shit. We were shit. We were in a battle to see who can stick a knife in the pig the furthest. And now working with him then. No, I mean if I were working at FedEx now, if I was to see him and if working wherever area he was at, I just speak with him and then just keep him moving, just say what's going on, keep him moving and stuff like that. And the partner here is shout out to Colin. Uh, he had tech when 2 years ago my pops had died. Man, he hit him up, and I think I think Zach had told him to tell me, send a hey, send his condolences from him and his wife to me in regards with pops has passed and stuff like that. Thought that was big of him to do that.
Yeah.
And then like I said, like I talked with David, that's my guy. I ain't got no issue with him. He apologized when I come to the funeral, stuff like that. You know, and other else. I mean, but one thing I did notice from that time back in '06 that Zach did develop, he developed some tact.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, when you get a humbling experience like what he did, then yeah, some things are gonna change. So, but other than that, you know, we're gonna have to draw this show a close. But before we do that, we got some upcoming things on here. Whoa, Willie
What's
D
up,
just
bro?
reported breaking news: Texas cop kills woman in her own home.
Yeah, I'm gonna discuss that at another time because that's some crap too.
Yeah, cause I'm gonna look at it before I turned it in. If somebody called me on one of the video chat, I know who that was. They at work. But but for upcoming shows, probably on Let's Draw on something. Um on my co-host. Well, let's start with first things first. With probably future episodes, Jimmy Jsmoove Network. He'll do his usual shtick, and I'll probably say about the next several Saturdays from now. Jimmy J is gonna go no holds barred with none other than me.
Okay.
That's right. I'm pretty sure everybody want to know the whole scoop about his co-host. His humble beginnings. What stuff was like. What it was like being the only child. I told little snippets about it in the dedication of Craig Smith Senior. But this may be a two-parter, or this may be the longest like it is now. We're going 3 hours on this one. This may be the best show that Jimmy has, second to when Monsters on the show talk about the R. Kelly issue. So Jimmy J's guest is going to be none other than me, as he's going to interview me, my humble beginnings in Chicago, what led me to move from Chicago to Memphis, and among other things. So about 2 weeks from now, Jimmy's going to be doing his Jimmy Jsmoove episode. So Jimmy get them questions together. And speaking of getting questions together, also probably the week after Jimmy does with me, I'm going to be doing an interview with my co-host,
Okay.
Jimmy Jsmoove. But it's not the life of Jimmy. It's going to be
Mhm.
Jimmy J comes to Houston. What led Jimmy? What we're going to talk about in this episode, Jimmy, is what led you to come to Houston, and before that, your time during that FedEx, and you alluded to it the last time I asked you about it.
Mhm.
There was a pilot light that started to fuse to the fire that where you basically said, fuck Memphis World Hub. there was another pattern like to that. Now I know I'm a spoiler for you. Now I know you took a job for something at Houston, but there was also something there. There was a pilot like that was lit to further speed up your process to leave FedEx Hub for World Memphis. So we go to World Hub of Memphis to Houston. So we gonna get on. So we gonna discuss that little show. So we gonna discuss that show here, there, and then also on all other shows, we're gonna do our usual college football talk, social issues, and everywhere else. And Jimmy J, he's pretty sure whatever day this week, he's gonna be addressing, breaking down the difference between racist and racial. And that's gonna be a good little. That's gonna be a good little live stream he's gonna have. So I may or may not be on that one, but he's gonna do that one there. But other than that, Jimmy J, you got anything to add other than the fact that Tennessee beat Mississippi State?
Um, Tennessee just probably need to. I can't say they can't recruit, but they. My boy, Jeremy Pruitt, he needs to get better, man, because Alabama's finna kick that ass. I think this the third. Is this the third weekend? Okay,
Yeah,
so
3rd October,
the
third
third October.
Saturday in October.
So yeah, they finna get their ass whooped next week. So I'm expecting it. We got a long way to go as a Tennessee Vols. You know, I'm not finna get too excited. Uh, uh, they finna get their ass whooped, and it is expected. So they're not gonna win for at least the next 5 years. It may be another 10 years before the Vols beat Alabama, but who knows? Shit, you know. But it's expected that the Vols is going to hit the wall versus Alabama. So the 3rd October, 10-19, you know, barring that they know something we don't, they finna get their ass kicked against Alabama. So good luck, Vols. Shit.
Oh yeah. So that being said, I found a new end credit closing tune to close the show, a little throwback, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So, on behalf of Let's Draw on Something and the Jimmy Jsmoove Network, on behalf of my co-host Jimmy Jsmoove, this is Craig L. Smith II, signing off. And the pleasure has been all yours. So we're gonna close out with this nice little tune. Y'all have yourself probably a good night or a good morning, because I'm about to close my eyes for practice.
Yeah, man.
We is out.
All right.
All right, y'all.